Jump scare! Woo! Beep, 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 beep.
It's the gang. The gang is here.
The gang is here!
Wait, when did we start a gang?
Right now. Welcome to our gang, Rose. Welcome to our gang! Anyway, hi, stream chat. What's up? Welcome to... We're working on D&D video, and I invited my friends to come with me. Say hi, friends.
Hi, friends.
Hello, friends.
Y'all are
Hello, friends.
We are very clever,
True.
and that is why you like us.
All right. Do you guys want to introduce yourselves? Say who you are. I know everybody here knows who I am.
I can go first. I am Zoe B of the YouTube channel Zoe B.
An
if you just
influencer.
search- Yep, that's me. If you just search Zoe B, that's me. I do video essays and stuff, and I play D&D with Star in our streamed game that is on the last Friday of every month. That's next week.
Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
So you better be there. Look at me, always plugging.
Oh, I
Wow,
guess I should
always
plan
be
for that.
plugging. I can't believe that the famous YouTuber with over 300,000 subscribers, Zoe B, is joining me for my live stream. I can't believe it. I'm so honored to have a real influencer in my live stream. I'm so happy.
Yep, that's me.
Sly says always be plugging.
Oh my gosh.
That's a good
Oh
one.
my gosh, I missed it. It was right
You
there.
missed the opportunity!
It is right there.
Okay,
Thank you,
if
Sly.
we're just going down the line, Rose, you should go next.
Hi, I am Rose Cobold. I have no online presence other than I do the art for What's Left of Us.
Yeah. A local cryptid.
I'll have one eventually.
Yeah. No, you'll be right. You do great.
I like how the Pokemon battle music started up right as it's Jay's turn to introduce himself.
Very nice.
I just have my...
Magikarp, do a splash attack.
Okay, first of all, I hate that I'm about to
Cringe.
admit this, but I love that voice. It's actually kind of fun.
Thank you. I'll save it for later.
Introduce yourself, Corn Man.
Hi, I'm Jake Horn. I work for State Farm Insurance, and all of you are very behind on your payments.
Excuse
I would like
me?
to inform you that this is a repo stream, and
No.
all of you are losing your vehicles as we speak.
You understand I can just kick you out of the Discord call, right?
No, guys, I'm Jake Horn. Hi, I am the DM and gremlin of this group. In this group of gremlins. I'm also actually in the chat as well.
Yeah, he's our mod. If
yeah,
you guys
hi, I'm
hear
also
me
one of
screaming
the
at
mods.
Jay all the time,
Leopard one.
Jinx! Oh, she was there for a second. Maybe we should change the title of the thing to say that we're streaming.
I think Jinx forgot that we were streaming at the moment. She's at work at the moment. Poor Jinx had to miss it, and so did Ron. Ron had to miss it because he
they're
had to work,
working.
and Mr. Solari would have joined as well, except that it is his partner's birthday, and they are spending the day together, which is very lovely.
Listen,
So,
we're gonna get
hi
all
to
these punks
everybody.
on a stream at some
Yeah.
point in the future. All right. This will not be the last time I do this. I have to storyboard an entire hour and a half long video. Gamers is gonna take a bit.
It's true. It's true. It's
But
true.
yes, I invited my beloved Dungeons and Dragons friend onto this stream with me because I'm gonna be working on our big D&D video that we're working on right now. We've already started recording. I've spent the last 2 days recording lines, and you guys should talk about it for a little bit while I draw the video. So I
Where to even begin with this?
We can talk about the campaign a little bit.
Yeah, Jay, since you're the DM, the master of the world, why don't you share?
Master of the Dungeons and the Dragons.
Yes.
I feel like I just did some narration for this.
Well, I mean, I don't have it readily available, so.
You don't have the audio?
Listen, I have the file that I sent all you guys.
But here's the thing. He has the script and a microphone. He could do a dry
Yeah,
read.
do it live.
Could do it
live.
live.
All right.
I'm gonna turn
You
off the
realize
music.
the power you're putting into this right now, right? This is
Yes.
what happens when we get to the bits with Beyonce.
Wait, we're
Are you
reading that
gonna-
far? I thought you were just gonna read the opener.
Are you gonna like?
You can't
draw
spoil the
Beyonce
entire
and
video, bruh.
bounce her
Just-
around on the screen?
Just do the intro to give the people a little taste of the world that we are going to be exploring for them.
I will read.
Here, hang on,
from
real
the
quick before they
page.
do that. Hey, chat, is our volume good? I'm looking at the waveforms and we should be good, but is the Discord chat? Are they too loud? Are they too quiet? Are we perfect? We perfectly balanced as all things should be.
I mean, I know that we're all perfect, but like the audio.
Well, yeah, but
specifically.
I mean our audio specifically. Okay, I'm getting a
I
lot of
could
yeses.
Go loud, or I could go as quiet as the microfiche.
The microfiche? Are you trying to steal my gig as a microfiche, you motherfucker?
Always.
Say that to my
Always.
face, bitch! I'm the
Don't make
microfiche.
me get the Nerf gun.
The microfiche is going to kill me.
He's gonna steal that NPC, I swear to God. You steal the microfiche, I
that's-
steal your femur.
It's
Okay, I feel like
Our
the energy
NPC.
is a little violent here.
Zoe, that's what all of our voice chats are! That's every
Yeah,
day
but
for us!
But the
Exactly.
people don't know that.
They do now.
The pattern is someone says something, Jay will say something extremely witty and charming, and then for no reason everyone will yell at me and want to murder me, and I don't
Chat,
know
this
why.
is not true. Chat, this is not true.
That
Yeah, this
checks
is a
out
lie.
except for the Jay saying something witty part.
I don't think that's
I
ever happened,
always
actually. In the history of knowing
this
you,
down.
I don't think
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
ever happened.
Something witty. There, just happened
Oh, fuck.
in front of all of you right now.
Wow, I'm coming for your
Impressive.
femur.
That's worth 10,000 subscribers to my YouTube, right there.
Yeah, everybody go
I'm
subscribe to Jay Corn from
criminally
State
unsubscribed.
Farm. Listen, a couple months ago when I was like demanding that everybody go subscribe to our beloved DMJ, this was the motherfucker I was talking about. Can you believe that I did all that for him? And this
True.
is how he repays me. By
Yeah.
bullying my
yeah.
Dungeons and Dragons characters and then doing this bullshit.
I bully everybody.
Oh,
It's
so
true,
it's
he
equal
does.
opportunity bullying. I see.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not.
Yes.
It's not prejudiced if I do it to everybody. You see.
Yeah. Just for you, I'm gonna draw this armor really bad. I'm gonna make it so inaccurate. I've already fucked up this hand. I don't know what I'm doing. Anyway, Jay, would you like to read? So we should talk about like
Yeah.
what this is though.
Oh, okay.
So Jay is our DM, and then me,
Hi.
and these three punks, and then three other people are the players in the campaign. And we have What's Left of Us, which is our live streamed campaign that we do on the last Friday of every month that you guys should totally go watch if you haven't already, and go subscribe to that channel because that's Jay's channel and we stream, and we might be doing some more stuff on there eventually soon. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, hint, hint, poke, etc. Whatever verb you choose. But so around this time last year, it's been almost exactly a year. Have you guys thought about that? It's been almost a year. Wow.
Wow.
Wow. We started another game that we were not going to stream, that was just going to be us fucking around every other Thursday, and we were going to just get up to shenanigans. And by getting up to shenanigans, we accidentally made a really fun story that I love and have big old brainworms about. And I have brainworms about it so badly that I wanted to yell about it and make a video about it. But instead of just making a video where I talk about it, I was like, what if I write like a whole, like script, and I get my friends to voice act their own characters, and I can't like do a full animatic of it because that's too much work. But what if I did it like kind of a narrated animatic type thing, and then people could occasionally like chime in with voice lines, and it would be really cool. And so now it's happening, and we're doing it, and the script is basically done, and we've all started recording our lines, and it's coming together really cool, and it's awesome. And now I have to draw all of it. But that's fine. But yeah, so as a treat, as a snack for you beloved folks who have come to this live stream, if you want to hear the intro that Jay and I kind of collaborated on, he's going to read it live for us. Jake Horn, if you will.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, we start off with this sort of...
Oh, hold on.
Which
Super
casts
chat
off
coming through.
characters with best fit playing trumpet, trombone, saxophone, tuba, aka sousaphone, and drums. For a jazz band?
Jazz band. MW87, thank you for the super chat. I'm gonna be honest, I have no idea how to answer that because I don't know anything about band. I don't know about jazz band.
In band.
I was honorary in band. I was in color guard. Our goal was to not kill the band geeks, and we did not always succeed.
First of all,
I
how
feel
dare
like
you?
Frankie would play trombone just for the humor factor of him getting stuck in it somehow in increasingly comedic ways.
It's true.
Rory would play the drums because she gotta go fast.
She also gotta beat stuff up. She got way too much energy, that kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like she and Ariana would fight over who gets to play the drums. Because Rory can go real fast, but Ariana has the I want to hit things energy.
Right.
The rest of them, I don't know.
I don't know. It's
No,
hard to
you
say.
know what? Rory would play trumpet because she has to be the most important person there.
Okay, as a former trumpet section band geek, I am feeling very attacked.
By the color guard member? Yeah, that
Amazing.
tracks. That tracks.
Amazing.
Ha ha.
No.
Hee hee ha ha. Zoe B, the biggest influencer in the room, coming in here playing the fucking trumpet.
Coming in hot.
Coming in
Listen.
hot.
I didn't come here to support my friends to be attacked.
Oh, I was like, then why are you here? Oh.
I didn't. Listen,
This woman.
I didn't come here to support my friends. I came here to talk about the tea.
No.
It's me, Zoe T. I'm starting a new YouTube channel where I do call out posts every day. I'm famous influencer.
all right, could we go back to Jay's thing now?
Oh, I guess.
Mm.
As you
All right,
will,
all right.
Dungeon Master.
Yeah, let me set the scene for you as I read from the top of this script here. We have a series of squares, different colors. Rose, Vale approved. Jinx, Naomi, Zoe, Annie
All right, you
approved.
don't have to read the author's
Ron,
notes.
Barbent.
Read that. You're stupid. You know that you're doing it wrong.
I'm stupid. I love it. Okay, all right.
Read the
For
script, Corn
realsies.
Man.
For realsies this time.
Oh my
Some
god.
fading into illustrations, right? Imagine a really cool background music. All right.
If you
True.
if you subscribe to my Patreon, you've actually already heard a little snippet of the intro music that we found
That
and we're
is-
working on.
That is true. Patrons of the TheStarfishface channel will get in progress stuff apparently. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I've already
it's also a great
posted a
way to
little
support
snippet
the
to it.
artists that you love.
Wow,
It's
thanks for
better.
shilling for me. Quit procrastinating and read the goddamn script.
Let's just okay. All right.
I can't believe that I'm friends with you. Can't believe I flew up to Canada to visit you. I like you that
You
much. What the
hugged
fuck?
me.
I did.
You
I
hugged me,
I
God.
take it back.
She's tall
Honestly.
too, guys. She's so
Yeah,
tall.
thank you. Thank you for acknowledging it.
Yeah. Listen, I mean, she's smaller than me still, but like,
Everyone is. It's because you're a freakishly tall human being. Who let you get up that bag?
That's I don't know. I bump my head on clouds all the time.
I don't know, Star. I'm only 5'2", and I had to bend over to hug you. You sure you're tall?
Don't spread lies in my chat. Don't spread lies on my live stream.
No, Star's super tall. I had to stand on my tiptoes.
Oh, Habib Janid, thank you for the
Janid.
super chat. Jared!
Thank you. Jared!
Jared again!
Jared!
Listen, okay. Look, Jared is another one of my players in another campaign. And Jared is a super kind, cool, and thoughtful person who I adore knowing. Jared.
Jared! I was like, where's that going? Where's that going?
I didn't want to seem angry at somebody because I'm not angry. I'm just Jared.
Jared, you know what you did. Thank you for the 50 gifted memberships. Oh my God, he's had it
Jared
again, gamers.
Is putting Star's cats through college. Jared is.
Yes, they have to go to Cool Leg.
Mhm.
Thank you, Jared.
Thank
we appreciate your
you.
support as always.
Jared,
You're wonderful, amazing. Thank you.
I would raise my arms if I could, but alas, I am an anime girl. We can't raise our arms.
She's like that in real life, actually. She has
Yeah.
very little articulation.
Yeah. Yeah, like I can't go upstairs because my knees don't bend. They had to carry me upstairs like a cardboard cutout. It was really inconvenient.
Yeah.
Anyway, eventually we are going to.
I was gonna say our one ADHD brain cell is bouncing around like
Bouncing
crazy
the
here.
fuck around. Like I posted that
Mhm.
members only video of us reading the AI generated articles together. That's just what we're like. This is our voice chats every single night is just this bullshit.
And now you can all go watch that video. Those of you
Yeah,
who
because
received
if you just got a
memberships from
membership,
Jared.
yeah, good shill, Zoe. Thank you. If you just got a
welcome.
membership, you can go watch the best video on my channel, which is the video of me and Jay reading AI generated articles written about me. It's very funny, and
It's
we
very
hate
funny.
on pterodactyls for a little while,
That's true.
and we talk about how I'm secretly a brain in a
wow.
jar.
Not all
And
pterodactyls, just Quetzalcoatlus because
Quetzalcoatlus
Star's built wrong.
specifically. Why is it built like that? Why is it shaped like that? I hate it. I'm a hater.
All right, Sly has suggested that I am the one holding the brain cell today. So I think with this responsibility that I've been given, I'm going to try and maybe steer us back on track.
Oh,
That's-
okay. So Teacher Zoe.
Teacher
Hands
Zoe,
up.
Teacher Zoe, are you doing the thing where you're like holding three hands in or like three fingers in the air and you're waiting for the class to quiet down?
Zoe, share the
No.
brain cell.
Zoe, we
No,
all
I
want to
don't
use the
wanna-
brain cell, Zoe.
I don't want to hijack your stream, but I do.
You're
wanna,
doing
you
it
know-
right now with
I know, I'm
teacher.
sorry,
Teacher
I'm
Zoe.
sorry.
How dare you? I can't believe I brought you onto my live stream to make you keep us on
sorry.
topic. I can't believe that you would do this to us, famous influencer Zoe V.
No, but see, it's just Jay. He's the one orchestrating all of this chaos
Yes.
because he doesn't want to read the intro. He's
No, I
he's-
definitely do. It's just very funny to me that this has gone on for this long.
We're funny. Read the
We
script,
are.
Corn Man.
God, we should be charging tickets for this.
Yeah, and instead we're doing it for free on youtube.com/@TheStarfishface/live. I think is the URL. It's not, but I can pretend like it is.
Anyway,
Right.
Jay, would you like to read the intro now that we have sort of set the scene?
I would love to.
Hmm.
Oh,
All right, then go ahead. Do
Place
it.
your bets on if he actually does it.
Do it.
yeah. I'll get there. I just gotta warm up a little, you know? I had to warm up with my vocal exercises. And now Star's growling at me.
I'm gonna kill him.
Don't make me get the Nerf gun.
She will. She'll
I'm gonna
shoot
kill
me.
him.
My wife will shoot me. I'm an abused spouse.
Battered DM
Right.
syndrome.
Battered DM syndrome. This happens all the time. They throw me down the stairs.
It's very funny when he clits the ground. He goes. Limbs go everywhere.
I
He like
bounce.
ragdolls. It's very funny.
Yeah, very good. All right. Y'all ready for this? 'Cause it's
No.
gonna blow your mind.
Jay,
Okay.
if my mind gets blown, how am I supposed to keep streaming?
Good question. I better not then.
Well, that's been the stream, everybody. I hope you all enjoyed this 20-minute live stream where
Jay.
nothing of importance was accomplished.
Jay, you know you have to read the intro
I do.
because only after the intro can we start talking about our characters. And we all know that the reason why the viewers are here is because of the characters. So
Yes.
for
Okay.
us, do it for us.
That's true. I will do it for you guys. I will do
Chat
it for
calling
you
this
guys.
peak ADHD.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. This is not a story about heroes. They can't always be, can they? Sometimes the story has to focus on the ones left behind, the lost, the untethered. Those big problems being faced by the heroes and songs affect more than just them. They hit the kind of people in our story first, and often the hardest. A young girl is being forced to marry. A scholar seeks out their missing friend. A broken man wastes away on thoughts of vengeance. A performer loses their family. A young woman turns to thievery in the face of an uncaring system, and a bold adventurer is cast adrift by fate. While they might not become mighty heroes, that spark is there, on the cusp of being realized in even the smallest of ways. This is not a story about heroes. It's a story about being heroic. And it begins 200 years ago. There's like a little dash to indicate like a little passage of time in the video.
All right, all right. You gonna keep going, or is that where you're stopping?
Oh, no, I'm gonna keep going. You kidding me? This
All right,
is
all
the
right.
really good part.
Yes,
You kidding me?
yes.
Do it, do it, do it.
It appeared with a gleam. A single tiny twinkle of light in the night sky that didn't match up with any known star. Scholars were intrigued. The little else was done for nearly half a century. With time, though, the gleam grew, and the sound of creaking and cracking glass could be heard from far, far above, as scholars realized with horror that the mysterious light in the sky was plummeting straight for their world. Over time, the light grew, drawing closer and closer with each passing year. Mages were consulted, portents read, magisters pontificated, and doomsayers screamed. And as the century neared its end and the light grew ever closer, earthquakes, hurricanes, portals to horror-filled realms, and random storms of mutation plagued the planet. And when the dreaded day finally came, the light closed in, falling out of the sky, screaming with the sound of reality itself cracking, but with a flash. A single spell lit the sky and everything just stopped. The mages and magisters had done it. They had stopped the light from slamming into Faerun at the cost of their own lives. A massive sacrifice and a scar on the world that would never fully heal. The century's fall would be remembered forever and studied by many. What was that light? What sent it? And would there be more? That was 100 years ago. A glorious university now stands on the spot of the fall, built from an older fortress. Century University is all gray dwarven masonry and swooping elven woodwork. For the last 80 years, this institution has trained mages and scholars while providing a safe environment to study the remains of the fall itself. Until yesterday. Without warning, dark stones split, elven carpentry twisted and cracked as a massive force exploded outward and turned a large part of Century University into nothing but a smoking crater. Once the dust settled and the screaming stopped, a council was called. For the second time, the greatest minds of Faerun were burying their peers while desperately trying to solve the riddle of the century's fall.
Do 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 do. Woo! Yay! Clap, clap,
Very
clap, clap, clap.
nice.
So that is the opening narration for what will eventually be the D&D video that we are working on right now. So what I am working on today is the little illustrations for the prologue. So this is going to be the part that goes underneath, like, this is not a story about heroes, and then like these guys are all going to fade in. It's all going to be very cinematic, and I'm very excited for it. But yeah, so Jay, that was a thing that you wrote a long time ago, right? And then you said that you ended up reusing for this campaign, or
Yeah,
like the second part.
My biggest complaint with that intro is
Century's
that it's
Fall
like, Mom,
was something
too
I
short.
wrote immediately after reading the
Hang on.
Crystal Kingdom. Oh
Jay,
yeah,
hang on. I have to yell at a super chat now. Christian Chap, thank you for the super chat. How dare you? How dare you make my son read those words? I am not sure.
I teach my nephew to do all sorts of things, like love cookies and say bad things at her mom.
Yeah.
Mom, sorry.
Also, Jay has decided that friggin' Vector is his nephew now, I guess, because
I love he.
just adopting my characters. Why don't you,
A little boy, a little lad. He needs to learn how to be chaotic.
little guy? Oh, what? And that falls to you.
Well, yeah, Marina's keeping Rory from doing it, so.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
Anyway, sorry to interrupt. I had to yell at a super chat. Anyway,
that's
continue.
fine. So this was way back when Taz Balance was still coming out with all their stuff, and I went through the Crystal Kingdom arc, and I was like, I gotta write something that's that sort of lyrical and interesting and just smacks you, right? And I was mostly like, the Crystal Kingdom arc wasn't really what really influenced this. It was just because there was a thing about that town that they go to with the clock tower that keeps resetting every day. And
yeah.
It was like, that was really what hit me, actually, was that sort of like, it was big and dramatic and bold, right? Like, a lot of my stuff that I had been writing up until then, and a lot of stuff I wrote afterwards, tends to be more subtle, slow burn sort of stuff. Like the things we're doing with Emery and Tim Tam and all those people in What's Left of Us, right? And so there aren't very many like big, bold decisions. And I was like, you know what? Just once I want to write a huge, like, in your face, this has to be dealt with now sort of thing. And so I wrote the treatment for Century's Fall, which was originally going to be a story about you as the party escorting this woman who came down in a big chunk of meteorite. But that didn't turn out to be that way.
I wonder what happened there.
Yeah. But basically, when you started talking about the character you wanted to do, I was like, this would fit so well. I need to do it. This needs to be it. And so I amended the storyline very quickly into being this.
Yeah, so for those who are not, I've made like a couple of videos where I talked about Verity. I talked about her in my my D&D video that I posted, my like D&D storytime video a few months ago, and then I also made a short where I talk about my D&D characters, and Verity was one. And the original concept for Verity was that she was going to be my backup character for What's Left of Us. Because there was a point where we all spent like the entire month between episodes thinking our characters were going to die on the next session.
Yes.
And so several of us ended up making backup characters. Also, Fire Drake McPhee, thank you for joining the memberships. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Quick input before we continue on. I definitely want to keep talking about this line, but someone said that I should be Vector's Grunkle Stan, and I, for one, love that idea.
Oh no, he doesn't need that.
Yes.
No. Oh god.
Yes, come,
No.
Vector. I will teach you how to dodge the IRS.
They're teaching me how to do that. I've been working on my taxes. I'm in pain.
Yes,
Anyway.
Banana, yes.
To the federal agents listening, that's a joke.
That is a
No, it's
joke.
not.
We're gonna dodge
That's a
the IRS in Minecraft. Hi, Milo. Oh, by the way, I have a cat making biscuits in my lap. So she's being very
Biscuits.
sweet and very precious. Hi, Milo. Milo is here.
Yes.
Hey, baby.
Sorry, but yes, back to your.
But yeah, so I came up with Verity as my backup character for Emery, and the original concept with Verity was she was gonna be a character who, because all of Star's characters have to at some point have died and come back different. I was gonna have her be, what was the exact like first concept for her? I can't remember. But it was something like.
Yeah, I think you just like her die. She got resurrected wrong and gained immortality accidentally.
That's what it was.
Through all of her friends dying.
Yeah. So originally, like, Verity's story was that she was gonna some kind of magic, some kind of weird messed up resurrection made her like functionally immortal. Like she could still die if you lopped her head off. But you know, like, she would not die of old age. She didn't age. She was like, she never died of an illness or anything. And so the idea was that she had this first adventuring party, and she was going out and she was like, you know, adventuring with them, but then eventually she outlived all of them. And so when the story picked up, she would have been like fresh off the death of her last former party member, and she's just like kind of wandering around trying to figure out what to do with her life next. And then at one point before I had like given that backstory to Jay, and he's like, I love this. And then like a couple days later, he DM'd me. and was like, hey, I love this, but I have an idea. Can I run it by you? And I was like, sure. And he basically told me, he's like, do you want to be a comet? Do you want to be a meteor person? And I was like, yeah. And then that is what happened with Verity. And if you guys want the full context, you got to come watch the video when it comes out. But I mean, here's the other thing is that, this is kind of spoilers for what will eventually be the video, but I've also spoiled this entire campaign because I do recaps of every session over on my Discord server. It's a thread that I have under the D&D channel. And not super many people are like subscribed to it, but a few people are. And so it's a little scattered to read. But if you ever feel like you want to know what's going to happen in the campaign next, you can just go read it on Discord.
Yeah.
Because I've talked about this all there already.
Incidentally, like what happens there typically is my players will give me an idea, and then I'll be like, what can I do with that? And then my other players will give me an idea, and I'll be like, oh, these are really close. Maybe I can mesh them together with something. And then I like create a villain, and I'm like, yeah, that'll work great. Okay, but it needs some tweaking. Okay, come back. I really like what you had, but also, how about this thing that's only a little bit different, but also for reasons that I can't tell you right now would be cool. And that's how it happens.
Collaboration, baby.
But that 100% happened with Vale. It was like, here, take this. And he was like, it's great, but can I change some things without telling you what I've changed? Okay, bye. And I'm like, okay, I will see what awesomeness you bring me.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. I had a character idea and it was perfect and flawless and no notes.
Zoe, why don't you talk about your character?
Yes.
Okay.
Talk about your boy.
Sage?
Yes.
No, the other one.
No.
Sage is my boy, and he cooked the pizza.
Yeah, so
Nico, we gotta cook it, Nico.
We gotta cook the pizza, Nico. You don't
Annie
get
is
that
amazing.
joke, go
and
rewatch my
wonderful.
last stream.
So, one of the things that I love most about D&D is the magic, because I think that magic systems allow for very creative ways of problem solving, and I really like thinking outside the box and just being able to do fun stuff with magic. And so I always play magic users. And so I was like, you know what, let me try something a little bit new and play a type of magic user that I've not played before. And so and especially because this is not like a streamed game, and so I got to be a little bit indulgent, I was like, you know what would be fun? I have never played a necromancer wizard before. So why not play a necromancer? Because that sounds fun. And I didn't do like a ton of thinking past that. Like, I think that I just came to Jay and was like, hey, I want to play like a super smart little wizard boy necromancer. Awkward nerd sort of caricature. And he was like, yeah, great, awesome. Here's the details about the Century University, and it just got exploded.
No, you're undercutting how excited I was for this.
Oh, Zoe, Zoe, have I ever told you about my immediate reaction to Annie when you brought this character? I'll do it later, but oh my god. There was so a little bit of backstory that's not going to get covered in the video is that Zoe originally brought in an entirely different character and then retired her after like one session.
I wasn't sure if you wanted me to bring that up, but
we can. It's your character.
Yeah, sure. So when we talked about doing this campaign, I wanted to play a warlock. Warlocks are my favorite. I love warlocks. I think warlocks are one of the strongest classes in D&D 5e. Love them. They're great.
Always the Eldritch Blasting.
Yes. And my idea was to play a warlock with a fathomless patron, which is basically like a giant underwater eldritch being, as her patron. And she was going to be loosely based on the mythology of the Selkie, which are like the women who were seals in the water and then came to land as women. And it was going to be about her, and she had her seal skin stolen and destroyed, and so she was stuck as a human and had to deal with this, loss of like she is no longer able to be with her family in the ocean, and she's really angry and very like used her womanly wiles to influence people and get her way, but also like very sort of Black Widow type deal where she would use her womanly wiles and then just kill the men. She sort of hated men, was very like, a man ruined my life and destroyed my seal skin, so I can never see my family again. I want to kill all of them. And so she was very angry. And it, like the first session, she did something that has rippled across the entire campaign, and it is her fault. So one of our other characters is a young woman of nobility who was being forced to marry someone that she didn't want to marry, and she ran away and found my Selkie woman named Cora. And Cora was like, oh, you have this man who is coming after you and wants to force you to marry him? Let me just go kill him for you. And she did.
She did.
She just
she
did.
Hit that boy with a tentacle.
Yep.
Boom.
Crushed him to death in a tentacle.
Rip Prince Doofus.
Yes.
Rip.
And that has now, like, there are some huge consequences from that single action in the first session. And then also, like, all of the other characters, as we met up and our party came together, all of the other characters were very upset that I had just, like, murdered someone in cold blood and didn't feel bad about it. And so then I was like, maybe this character is not quite the right fit for this party. Like, she's a little...
Sometimes happens, yeah.
Yeah, and, like, she's a little dark, and also she was just so different from other characters that I've played and just, like, a little bit outside my comfort zone. And so I was like, I don't know that it's, like, exactly what I want. Is it okay if I retire her and bring in a new character? So that was that. And so now Cora is somewhere in the world.
She's somewhere. She's out there.
I do have a
Killing
question
men
for you.
and being a badass. Yes, Rose?
Zoe, after playing more games and getting to learn the party and shenanigans and stuff, do you still feel she would have been a bad fit?
Oh, what a good question.
That's a very good question.
I think, yes, I do. I think that she's a little bit too black and white about things, and she's a little bit too ruthless. I think that she would have continued to make very drastic decisions that would have put the party in danger. And I don't know that she would learn from that, at least not very quickly. Because she's, like, very old. Like, she's stuck as a human now, but, like, she's, like, Selkies are basically immortal fae creatures. And so she's very old and set in her ways. So I don't think that she would be very quick to change. So, yeah, I think that if she had stayed with the party, it would have been bad.
There would have been way more bodies and way more attempts at me to portray lascivious, gross men that deserve to be murdered by a Selkie.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was great.
Would have been
but no,
fun.
so then,
Yeah.
but then I brought in the total opposite end of the spectrum, a very low charisma, well, not super low charisma, but a non-charismatic wizard boy who is just incredibly awkward and nervous but very sweet, tries his best, and tries to do ethical necromancy.
If you guys have read my comic, we keep joking that he and Sage are pretty similar. So that'll give you a little bit of a grounding point.
But it can't be. I did not cheat off your test here.
No, I know you
Okay.
didn't, because you introduced Annie, I think, before he showed up in the comic. You definitely did, yeah.
And
But
also,
I hate,
Sage has not once in his life done an ethics.
Listen, he wants to. He just keeps tripping over himself.
Papi Basura does not know anything about ethics. He did not take a class.
He did not.
Once.
He did not. He's like, but this thing would be so cool though. And then he does it. And then Sage is I fuck around and find out type of magic and doesn't really think about the consequences until they are already actively biting his ass. So they're not exactly the same character by any means, but just like the nerd vibes are very similar.
But also, Murderous Girl Boss is still out there.
Out there somewhere.
Living her best life, I hope. I hope that
and
she is
also-
killing all of the dirt bags.
So many. Because like the story would have also changed because I would have made sure that every person that your character would have killed would have been ethically dubious. And so like I love doing that.
You would have gone
much.
with evil Rhoden if that had been the case. I almost feel like.
I think I would have made Rhoden a little bit more ambiguous for sure.
Oh,
Because then it would make her have to choose at that point.
she would have
Do
been
I like my party
so-
enough to not kill this guy who is absolutely being unethical in front of me?
I'm so afraid of like spoilers and stuff. Am I allowed to talk about some of the Rhoden stuff?
I don't know.
I mean,
it's
like
up
I
to
said,
Star,
it's been spoiled in the Discord.
Yeah.
Maybe
So
be a little ambiguous about it.
And there's
So,
only
some of-
123 people watching.
Some of the things that Rhoden did after he believed that Verity was dead, Cora would have been very upset about.
Oh,
Like,
that's I
you
know
you
what you're
did
talking
what?
about. Yeah.
You
Like, what
thought
do
you
you-
could just do that? I'm
Mhm.
sorry.
You guys don't even know the actual bad stuff. So
Wait, what did my boy do? What did you make him do?
No.
he was sad. What are you talking about?
Oh my
Do you think
god.
he became a vengeance paladin after being a cleric of Helm for just no reason?
Reason. Oh, but we have to circle back a little bit because Zoe, I need to talk about the heart attack I had when you brought Annie
Oh.
in.
Yes,
Why?
yes.
Okay,
because
okay.
Zoe was like, I want to be this person. I'm like, perfect. I have the perfect way to bring you in and give Star the worst panic attack.
What happened?
So it has nothing to do with you, and it has everything to do with who Annie is specifically. Because when Jay was introducing, it's like, yeah, so you crashed to Earth in this meteor, and it killed a bunch of people when it came down. He did not tell me like the full extent until much later. But he was like, he's like, yeah, a bunch of wizards died to make sure that your meteor like didn't crash and kill a whole bunch of people, but a bunch of people died. And then you just exploded their university again. And so now like all of the greatest arcane minds of Faerun are trying to hunt you down. And Verity didn't know that because she's just born. And so when we're just, having a good time, I know this. Verity does not know that a bunch of fucking archwizards are currently trying to chase her the fuck down, for reasons, that are, I don't know what they want. Do they want revenge? Are they trying to kill me? I legit don't know. We haven't run into any yet. But then, unlike the second session when you brought Annie in and introduced him as a scholar from the university that had just exploded, oh, these things I texted Jay. I was like, oh, fuck, you did this on purpose, didn't you?
The crystal, and you were like, yeah, we've been studying this.
Oh, so
The heart
that's why.
palpitations.
That I thought that Verity was very like standoffish and like nervous around him, and I was like, oh my gosh, like why is she afraid of my sad, sensitive little boy?
It's because of what he
God.
represents. And I'm like, so for the longest okay, so folks who have seen the art I posted know that Annie has this little necromantic construct buddy named Friend. And for the first section of the story, well, yeah,
Little
he's like
in
8
very
feet
heavy
tall,
air
but
quotes.
you get the he's a little buddy, he's a little guy, he's 8 feet tall. But when you were first at the start of the story, when you were telling us that you were searching for a friend, and Jay kept kind of describing, like, you didn't tell us anything about Friend, but Jay like kind of described as like, yeah, you see these tracks, and you were saying, he's like, oh my god, I can't believe it's actually being integrated with people. I was 100% under the impression that you were searching for like some kind of crystal golem that was Verity, and you just hadn't figured it out yet. I thought, until Friend was actually revealed in the story, I was 100% convinced that's what you were searching for, and I was fucking terrified.
Paid off
Amazing.
so much. Another DM tip for you all. Make sure that if you're lining up the secrets of various things, that the secrets for your players line up in such a way that they won't want to spill the beans, but they'll be wondering if the other player's secret is about them, because then they just torture themselves. And it's amazing.
He does this to us!
because like I didn't want to give details on Friend because Friend, spoilers for very near the front of the story, Friend is again like an 8 foot tall, essentially Frankenstein monster, who has been stitched together from various other body parts.
So
You don't have to act coy about it, Zoe. Your character's mentor's name is Dr. Marianne Shell. Like, we know.
And I thought I was very clever for that.
Very, extremely. Yeah. But like,
I still have a
so
handprint
here-
on my forehead from the facepalm I did when you revealed that.
It was so
But I didn't want to
good.
because again, like necromancers have a very bad rap. Some of them for a good reason, but like I didn't want to say, "Hey, I have this zombie friend. I want to go find them," because nobody's gonna be like, "Oh yes, let's go find your pet zombie."
So it worked out so well because Verity is trying very hard to hide the fact that she's made from this sort of same crystal. And here comes this guy who openly says he studies this crystal, but is very unopen about the thing he's looking for because it is verboten. And they just meshed together so well. So well. There were some conversations that would have solved a lot of problems really early on for the party. But neither of the two of them were willing to, well, Annie, it wasn't that Annie wasn't willing to talk. It was that Verity was so scared that Annie was looking for her.
Annie was also a little kind of shifty on some of the details because it's academic honesty. People, if, you know, he can't just say these things out loud. These are very high secrecy academic inquiries that he has to protect. The academic integrity is very important.
But yeah, to be fair, Verity did not know until this most recent session that people were after her. She just did not know what the crystal stuff was, and she was freaked out by it more than anything. And then Annie kept trying to study her. It was me that was freaked out that Annie was one of the wizards that was after her, because, like, I know.
Who knows? Maybe
Verity
he is,
doesn't.
and it's just a secret little side quest he has going on.
He's had so many opportunities and has not used them.
You don't know what he says to Dr. Shell when he calls her.
That's true.
Yes, I do. We hear it.
Didn't they have like a book report due that never got sent?
Yeah, Annie, when are you going to do your book report?
I don't believe that that's true.
When are you going to do your book report, Annie?
I don't
Out
believe-
with your girlfriend. We can hear it from here.
I don't believe that the book report stuff was real. I think that it was a prank, and I am refusing to acknowledge it. Because I think that pranks are silly and bad. So that's a Zoe thing. I am not
I see.
engaging.
Yep.
My boy
So
will
here, now
not
that
be
I'm-
embarrassed.
I've moved on to our next illustration here. So for the actual like video that I'm putting together, it's mostly going to be just like kind of a sketchy animatic. But for the little intro, the part that Jay read out earlier, like our little intro kind of introducing our characters, I want to do like silhouettes for all of the characters as their like little things are read off. So we haven't talked about Jinx's character yet, but Naomi is our girly who ran away from a marriage that she did not want to be involved in. And so this is her like getting her hairbrush. She's getting primped and ready for getting wed to a guy. This is shortly before she runs the fuck off. But it's going to be like a silhouette when I'm done. And so we're doing silhouettes for like all the characters as their little thing comes in. So there's Annie. He's like walking around with a map. We got Barbfin looking emo on the beach like a Kingdom Hearts NPC. We got Vale running after like the ghosts of their family. We got Tony on the run from the fucking cops. And we got Verity doing something. And then all like silhouettes of all the party members standing together. And then it's going to fade into the 200 years ago exposition. And that's what I'm hoping to get done today, but we'll see.
We'll see.
We shall see.
Speaking of, though, there's one party member here that we haven't been able to talk about.
Yeah!
If you're feeling like you can, my love.
Oh, Vale?
Yeah.
I would like to point out that chat has when you were reading the little intro thing, that as soon as you read searching for their family, chat immediately was like, they're dead. They're 100% dead.
I didn't see that. Oh no.
Chat. Hold on, chat. I resent
know that they're
Okay,
all dead.
Yeah.
We know about
you
one of.
think I am that I would kill every single member of the families. That's insulting.
Yeah, some of them have got to
named
be
a
like
couple instead. Okay.
locked up and
That's-
tortured.
Yeah.
I will definitely say, not dead. They're not dead.
No.
But, oh man, the heartache.
Because mutilation is better for drama. That's
well. See, I'm trying to hold myself back from spoiling it. Is what I'm doing right here.
I see.
Is it working?
Yeah. So Vale is a bard. Searching for their family, and I love them to pieces. Though I will say, as Star, we gotta stop doing it, man.
We gotta stop doing this. We keep accidentally making the same character.
So when we came to the table, Vale is a purple tiefling. They were supposed to be a very shy and meek bard that was trying to emulate their older brother to try and make it while they were looking for them. And as soon as Verity's introduction came not long before mine, so I'm like, oh shit, we cannot have two purple tieflings that are super shy. So
purple teeth.
within the first few seconds before introducing my character, I had to completely rework the personality in my head.
No.
So I ended up meshing it with another character of mine, but I love how Vale is coming out. It's coming out pretty good.
No, I love Vale. Vale is a delight. Vale has had some shit. You guys are gonna get to see Vale do some shit when this video comes out, though. Whoo boy!
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what to say that won't like give stuff away.
Yeah, because I would say that like
Vale has some baggage.
yes.
Some baggage.
Some
baggage.
do.
Let's just say when
hate-
Vale is introduced into the
Stop
campaign, they
singing
don't
Sandstorm, you
remember
motherfucker.
several
See, I was
weeks
gonna
of
make
their
a
life.
Star Wars reference. I hate sand.
It's rough, of
Rough.
course, it's everywhere.
Of course, gets everywhere.
Yeah, like
Why am I
oh,
friends
man,
with y'all?
everyone made characters that kind of meshed really well into each other's storylines, and I was just, oh, it was so good. Oh my god.
Yeah, for reasons, Vale is not allowed to part with Verity, and also interlinked with the whole crystal thing. It's pretty great.
It's
Yeah,
very
like
good.
a lot of the cast is like half. I would say half, yeah, because it's me obviously, and then Vale, and then Annie is also kind of involved in like the whole crystal bullshit narrative that's going on throughout the story.
And each of you also have your own things going. Really, like the bulk of the crystal nonsense is really part of Verity's storyline here. But there's also you also have your other thing, your other thing.
Who are you talking to? Me?
Yeah. And
I have
Vale obviously has their other thing. Like honestly, the crystal thing is more or less like just something tangentially attached to their main storyline.
Oh, Vale has a couple other things.
Yeah.
I have nothing else. My character is great and innocent and has no other concerns.
No problems whatsoever.
Press X to doubt.
Where's the X key? I found it. XXXX.
Very good. Everyone resonates.
Haha, I get it, crystals.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
resonates entirely. Actually, it's funny, Jared, that you mentioned resonates because your character on Saturday is also tangentially connected to this crystal nonsense.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
I don't know
shit.
if we mentioned this, but most of Jay's campaigns happen in the same universe and around the same timeline. So this game that we're discussing here actually is happening at the exact same time as the events of What's Left of Us.
I believe the What's Left of Us cast is currently a couple hours north of where we are right now.
Yeah, because
In
we're
this
in
game?
like actively in the story. Like, so the video is going to cover the first, like, 6 months of us playing. And so there's a further 6 months after that that is not going to get covered by the video. But right now, we are all in Waterdeep. And there's a cat on my computer. Milo, get down!
You know what's funny? The What's Left of Us crew is also in Waterdeep.
Oh wait, we're now. In the same
shit, you're
tower.
right. Oh shit, I forgot that we teleported. I forgot we're not in the weird swamp anymore. Oh my god.
Also, hold on, gifted subs. Dapper
Oh
Skull,
yes,
thank you.
gifted subs. I try to say
10.
subs and skulls at the same time. Dapper Skull, thank you for the gifted memberships. I appreciate it. If you got gifted a membership, make sure to say thank you. Crossover when Jay feels like it.
Yeah, that requires me to play every one of the other characters' sides of this conflict.
Do a Tim Tam voice right now.
Do it. Milo, get off my computer!
Tim Tam, and I don't know what taxes are.
Okay, but that's actually pretty good.
Right?
It's very good.
I am going to murder my parents, probably.
Oh.
No, she's fine and not upset.
Yep.
Things
Definitely
are
not upset
fine.
for now.
She is not
Yep.
upset.
But Jay is so good at doing that sort of thing, though. He accidentally run across my characters all the time, and I love it. Like technically, Tim Tam talked to one of my characters. My character Odyssey. She was the pink automaton that she got apples from.
Oh yeah.
Tomatoes.
Tomatoes. Yes.
Yes.
That was my character Odyssey. I love her so much.
We have entered
But yeah,
silhouette
so-
stage.
Oh, sorry. Go on.
Oh no, I was just saying, it's like, it's a silhouette now. Do you guys see it? Do you see it? It's a silhouette now.
Yes. But we, in our this game that we're talking about, we're at the Sea Dragon's Lair, which I am making with another group in a different campaign that no one else is involved in other than Jay being the DM. And they're all interlinked, and I'm constantly screaming at the screen during What's Left of Us, like, it's this thing, that's connected to that, look at all the strings, awesome!
Oh yeah, Nico's character is entirely the impetus for Nico's character. If you're watching Nico, I don't know if you are, but Nico's character Jacques is entirely an impetus based on Verity's storyline.
Spoilers.
Oh, yeah, I thought so. I 100% thought so.
Jay told me about this, and I'm like, I have no stakes in this game. Good to know that I have such a big impact on it, though, I guess, despite the fact that I will...
I know he's not watching, so he would never know this, but yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Incredible.
Jay is
Milo.
spinning so many plates. You don't understand. This is like 10 years worth of different games. They're
more
like
than that, but yeah, the world is building towards something very specific. I cannot wait.
What?
with how many different groups? Like 6 different groups, 7 different groups, if not more.
At least. You guys were all tripping because you realized that when I told you that all of the intros that I have ever written for any of these stories were narrated by the same person
Oh my!
person in universe. There is a person in universe that is saying this to you.
What?
Yes, I love
Yeah.
him so much. I will
What?
give no spoilers.
Jay.
Yeah.
What?
Mm-hmm.
You can't just drop that information and then not follow up on it.
Unfortunately I can't. I'm sorry.
Ugh.
I can't believe how long it took me to put that together. But it is one of my favorite NPCs Jay has ever made. And I cannot wait for the reveal.
You can say that out loud. It's fine. Zoe's threatening me in DM.
I'm sorry.
should
some
I-
of us are very important influencers who
Yeah,
cannot afford
yeah, Jay.
to get very upset on stream.
It's true. It's true.
I have to think about my image.
Yeah, your influencer image. And your content.
I'm sorry, I can't take
After-
myself seriously.
After Star is like, I'm going to steal your femur.
Hi, Milo. Are you here to be a menace? You were already a menace twice,
want-
jumping up on top of my computer.
I mean, Jared, your character is going to be fundamentally a part of this fabric. Don't you worry. Look, she already is.
Oh,
Good stuff.
I love Dashing Reina though. She's amazing.
Is this a good opportunity to shill that Jay
Oh.
does paid
Yes.
DMing? Aren't you recruiting for a new game right now?
I am
Chill.
going to
Chill.
be very soon.
Chill.
It's not ready yet, but yes. Hang on a second. I'll get the link.
Drop that
Drop
link.
the link in the chat. If you also want to be
Genuinely?
part of this mixed up, wacky world.
Yeah, genuinely. And he's not paying me to say this. In fact, I'm paying him for the opportunity to say this. Jay's DMing is some of the best DMing I have ever experienced as a player, and I think that it is absolutely lovely. And if you are at all interested in playing D&D, especially if you are a new player or have not had the opportunity to play a bunch, Jay's just a great DM, and I really think that you should, if you are able to, take up the opportunity and have him do one of your games, because it's wonderful.
Yeah, agreed.
Oh,
Check
definitely.
out that link in the chat. Pin message.
Jay
Get
has
wrecked.
actually ruined other DMs for me. I now kind of judge them based off of like his skill and quality. So I'm like, this is great, and I get you have your own style, but I really like this thing. I feel so bad.
Oh no, listen, in my home game, my husband is one of the DMs, and so it's like between Jay and my husband as far as DMs go.
You guys.
Yeah, get complimented, bitch. I'm allowed to say that's my channel.
Hey, it is a chosen nickname by him. It is his favorite nickname, I hear.
Yep. Oh, yeah. So that's a thing. Yeah, I have a game coming soon that is going to be. I'll be looking for at least 2 other players soon. So keep an eye on that profile if you want it. It'll be an astral plane sailing adventure that kind of mixes the Odyssey with Treasure Planet.
Ooh,
Because
that sounds
Okay,
fun.
but like, am I allowed to join that one?
if you want to, yes, it'll be standard prices and stuff. So you'll get the link when it's ready. And 2 of the players that I already have signed up are very dear friends of mine, so you'll be in safe company there. And then I'm keeping like 1 other day for just in case someone wants to hire me specifically to run like a campaign for them instead of just waiting for one of my campaigns to open up. So I'm gonna have like 3 or 4 like regular campaigns going if I can, and then I'm going to have 1 spot open for if someone wants to hire me for like one shots and mini campaigns and stuff like that. So
He's
Hire
very
the
good at
corn.
one-shots, too.
Do you guys very good at one shots? The only one shot by Jay that I have played in was one. It was a Christmas themed one shot.
Not true.
And oh yeah, I guess it was also the one that we did for Zoe's birthday last year.
That's
but...
true. That's true. That was a more serious one, but I could toast your VOD right now because I still have the music queued up.
No,
Yeah,
do not.
A couple years ago, I got the Kobold Rangers for my birthday. It was amazing.
It was.
It was Super Sentai the right thing?
Super
It's like
Sentai.
yeah,
Go,
like,
go, Kobold Rangers.
Power Rangers, but kobolds.
Na.
It was so goddamn cute.
Amazing. But yeah, I still have Mariah Carey in a minor key stuck in my head from back in December. And this bitch gave himself a migraine listening to that shit, and then came and whined in my DMs about it the next morning. I'm like, yeah, well, that's what happens when you listen to Mariah Carey in a minor key for 4 hours straight during Dungeons and Dragons combat, stupid!
Suffer from my art.
No, you just like torturing people.
I don't want to last.
I
for
don't want to
Christmas.
toast my VOD, so stop freaking singing that song! I don't want to toast my VOD, gotta keep this stream up going, and
I'm sorry,
I...
what month is it?
March. Jay started it.
Not if we don't. We could roll back the rock a little tiny bit.
But then you got to turn back the clock.
That's right.
Go back to the down of town.
I swear.
This is what I deal with. These are the people that I'm on voice call with like every night. Chat, are you seeing this shit?
So, yeah. Listen, I apologize to everyone who got jump scared by Mariah Carey.
Anyway, Zoe, I drew your boy.
Yes, I know. Look at him. He
He's
is
a
so
little
handsome.
shadow man.
Are you just saying that because he's a necromancer?
Now, where is my friend?
Oh, he's in the Zoe, do you know what a silhouette is? Do I have to explain basic art terms to you, Zoe B, famous internet influencer?
I have nothing to say. I am very funny.
And yet you keep saying
Actually.
words.
Oh,
There's still words spilling from your mouth, so I mean...
can't believe that you are insulting, not harassing famous influential YouTuber Zoe B.
You
Tell me
can't
more
do
about
You're
that.
Canceled.
Well,
Tell
here's
me
the
more
thing.
about that.
She can't hold on to our singular brain cell the whole stream.
It's true. She's got to have some bouncing space of her own.
No, my boy is perfect and lovely and can do no wrong. That's all I have to say. I don't even. He is perfect. He is perfect.
Mm.
No.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
How's that crush on teacher going? How's that crush on teacher treating you?
You guys, being a DM is cool because you get to psychoanalyze all your friends and make them confront their deepest fears in a manner in which they feel comfortable doing. And then you also get to play their crushes of various genders and such. And you've got to, even if you are deeply unsexy like me, you have to kind of like dig deep and find the smoke, if you will. And Dr. Shell is a smoke show.
She's pretty hot.
She's great. She's
I mean, like,
amazing
yeah,
for a 90-year-old, really.
I was gonna say
But,
she might
yeah.
be a lich, but
Might.
she's
Might be!
Might. No, there's
I-
no
She
conversation
literally
yet.
has phylacteries, Zoe! She's a lich! We know this to be true! You
No one is
found them on the
perfect,
last
okay?
set! Po Buddy's nerfect!
Oopsie, I'm a lich.
Womp womp.
Yeah, it's confirmed. Shell's a lich.
okay.
So she isn't smoky so much as she's dusty. But
She's very dusty.
She is there,
Do you
though.
still want to make out with that,
Yes.
Annie?
Well, she's 90.
It's less about making out with
Yeah.
her and more about just wanting to support her in her scholarly endeavors in whatever way she would prefer that to happen.
And
Yeah.
then you smooch her.
Who knows if there will be
It is about
smooching
Getting to smooch is a part of all good role play.
and
Listen.
science.
And science. Science requires smooching. You can put
Yes.
that down the next time someone asks you why you have smooching all over your scientific papers, and you're like, well, smooching is a part of science.
No, but see, the I think that one of the most fun parts of this is that because Annie is the way that he is, he's entirely oblivious to the fact that this is not a, like, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not like he just has feelings for her and she doesn't know he exists. He believes that, but because I am not oblivious, like, this woman has like a secret cipher for her research notes, and it turns out that the key to that cipher is some of Annie's research, and like his writing is literally the key to unlocking the cipher on her research notes.
I
Yes?
rarely have I ever been this romantic, but I legit think this is some of the most romantic things I've ever done.
I mean,
did
for like
indeed.
scholars, yeah.
Yeah, I did indeed make the cipher to be unlockable by your essay that you sent into her and the reason why she chose you for the academic research. But also, the cipher was also the part of a spell that she made specifically so that somebody could call her through her disguises.
Yeah. Yeah, like she literally, like, she has, this magic stuff that allows her to not be sent messages and things like that via magic, but the only thing that can get through it is, stuff
Is a
that is unlocked
spell
with
that was
his-
codified. Yeah.
But like Annie has he is oblivious. He's just like, oh, that's interesting. Huh.
She must deeply respect me.
Anyway.
Meanwhile, this thing is literally broadcasting hot liches in your area. Less than 40 miles away. Go.
Should go to her.
No,
I mean,
she's
that's
far
basically
away.
what Friend was doing. He's like, hey Annie,
Yeah.
did you know that I have I basically know exactly where she is at all times, so if you wanted to go and find her, I could like literally point you in the direction that she is. And Annie was like, I will put that away for later. Hi, I am notable necromancer in touch with his feelings boy, Animus Lovelace.
No, so the thing is, because he's so like he knows that he has these feelings for her, but he respects her so much that he doesn't want to compromise like that respect for the sake of those feelings. It's like, I would rather never explain how I feel about this person because I'm afraid that it would, you know, upset them or whatever. And like, I respect her too much to upset her in that way. And so I'm just going to hide it my whole life. And so like, yeah, he has her diary. He has her phylactery. He knows where she is at all times. He's not going to act on any of that because he respects her too much.
Remember when I was making fun of myself for psychoanalyzing all of you guys with what your characters do?
What is that supposed to mean?
Nothing, don't worry about it.
He's doing it again.
What? No.
Don't worry about it.
No.
He's worried about it.
It's the yearning.
It's about the yearning, chat.
It's really cool to play through romantic storylines, everybody. It really is, honestly. It's very fulfilling if you're doing it with people you trust.
But yeah, so Annie has a crush on his professor, who is also his research partner, who is also a lich. And
It
it's
totally has a
fine.
crush on him.
Maybe. We don't know.
Again with the coy and the denial. You are knee deep in the River Nile. Jesus Christ.
I really think she's just waiting for him to say something, and she knows.
No, I mean, honestly,
I have tried calling her so many times, and she always hangs up on me. It's always like, oh no, it's not safe. Okay, bye.
Or maybe she's also being blushy.
Nah.
Yeah. No, I certainly wouldn't stick two nerds who had no idea how to goddamn start a conversation romantically together. Certainly not.
Mm.
Why do I feel the violence? Why do I feel like I'm catching some of this shade?
Listen, no. Listen, honestly, that was a little bit of me being mad at myself because I was 100% that nerd. I still probably am a little bit, to be honest.
I can confirm it is. Yep.
So D&D.
Dungeons and Dragons. Can you believe it?
God, Basements and Big Lizards.
Basements and Big Lizards. Our hot new game that we were playing.
Man.
I want to talk about Rhoden, but his whole shit is so wrapped up in the spoilers.
Well, I mean, like you said, it's already been talked about in the channel. It's not hidden.
Yeah.
And like the video itself is going to be like a month or 2, 3 months, 4 months, maybe even away. I think you're pretty safe to rant about some things.
I'm aiming for June for the video release because I was like, well, my birthday's coming up. This could be my birthday video to me.
That's true.
That could be this.
It could be, yeah.
So maybe
I think you should talk about it.
June.
Get excited. Like, tell people what you're excited about.
Okay. It's also hard for me to talk because I'm the one drawing.
That's true. That is very true.
Suffice to say that, you know what? Yeah, I've talked about this and I've posted fucking art about. You know what? I'm just gonna find the goddamn image. If I'm gonna explain Rhoden and Verity's relationship, I can just show you guys the goddamn image.
Yes, it's
I can
so
just show the
good.
image. Where is it? Do I not have that one saved? I don't think I have the exact one that I want to show saved. Gord damn it. Shit. I don't have the exact image I want saved. One sec. I know I've posted it recently. No, it'll be easier to find on Tumblr because Tumblr actually has like a fucking tag system. Somebody else talk about their characters for a couple minutes.
Who wants to hear about Beyonce?
Oh my god, best NPC ever.
Please, 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 please.
Okay, so like, do we got like a picture of Beyonce we can throw up on the screen or something?
Not readily available.
Okay, don't worry about it. They can just put it together in their heads. Okay, so you know how Noel looks, right? But like, make her super fucking hot. Okay, this is like the hottest Noel you ever saw. And also the
She
coolest,
literally just looks like every other Noel.
It's hey, listen.
Woo!
That's
the shade.
slander, and they won't take it. God damn it. Okay, so like, there was a Noel attack on Red Larch when the party was at like, I don't know, the second whole episode where the group was together.
It was more than that, but
Sure.
It wasn't that far in. It was like maybe episode 3.
Okay, well there was an attack by Knowles on the thing, and then the party like killed a lot of the Knowles and drove some of them off, but then they captured one Knoll. And you know the problem with Knowles is that they're all basically under control of the same demon god. Like not entirely, but like they got that god in their head the whole time going like murder, kill, eat, destroy, you know? So they were like but then Tony was like, hey, why are we always killing these Knowles? What if we like separate her from her god? They didn't know I was a girl at this point. They were just thinking about it because, you know, they taught me about gender and I picked girl because it seemed like it was a good idea. And so with a little bit of help and stuff, they actually unhooked my brain from Yanogu, and then I was suddenly myself, and Tony taught me a really cool handshake and how to smoke, and I smoke so much. Tony says it's a problem actually, and maybe we have to get it sorted. But then I learned also how to make a gun, and now I just fucking shoot people who don't like me. And it's so much easier than anything else I used to do.
so that's Beyonce.
That's Beyonce.
I've located the image. It took me a minute, but I found it. You guys want to know what Verity and Rhoden's relationship is? This literally just explains the all of it. Lose your best friend in a very traumatic fashion. Spend 200 years in mourning, honoring your friends, spreading their legacy, and giving them titles post-mortem, including a symbolic cultural post-mortem marriage. Friend comes back to life. Oh, shit!
This is entirely it. Okay, so...
Talk about Rhoden.
Yeah, Star came to me with her character, and she said, okay, I have a group of party members. And she was like, I don't know if any of them are alive. One of them probably could be. And I was like, you know who would probably still be alive? That dwarf. And then she was like, I was thinking the dwarf and I would actually, like, Dwarf and Verity would have actually kind of been like a little bit of a thing, sort of. But like, they're both ace as hell. So like, they don't like, they're just being ace together sort of deal. They're in a very standard ace relationship, and it's very cool. And so I was
they tried dating on the road, and they weren't sure if they were super about it. And then before they figured it out, Verity fucking died.
Yeah.
And so.
Yeah, and I made the decision that Rhoden is a little bit of a romantic, a bit of a romantic actually, and so he would pine. is the thing, and you know, because dwarves live a long time, he would pine for a long time, and so that's what happened with that. And so I just sped that forward by like 200 years, and Rhoden has slowly outlived all of his friends and has amassed a bunch of wealth and power and is like the lord of a couple of things. And every step of the way I was thinking, okay, after I set up like the main premise, like, okay, he'd be a lord now because he did all this other things, and he'd gather all this stuff, and he probably did all this stuff because of his relationship with Verity. After all that, every decision I made was what would be funny for Verity to come back into. And
Because
like,
it was just, I've described them having conversations about this as like the never-ending staircase. They're tumbling down the never-ending staircase of embarrassment, like every time they talk about their backstories, right? Because it's just like, so the first arc of the story, and this will get covered in the video, basically the entire first arc of the story is everybody trying to help Verity get back to Rhoden, because like she wakes up from being dead for 200 years, is in denial about the part where she's dead for 200 years, thinks that all her friends just died in the fight that killed her, but knows that Rhoden is still alive. And so she's like, I need to find this one final living member of my party. And so the entire first arc that the video is going to cover is kind of like, that's the main goal. Is like, we're going to this place to find this person for our paladin. And then so once they finally get back together and everything's great, and they're finally like, you know, having conversations about what Verity missed for 200 years, it's just, they're so awkward. And it's just like, Jay, would you like to kind of just go ham for like a few minutes about like all the fucking shit that Rhoden did?
yeah, it just kept building on itself. It was so fucking funny. So like at first I was like, okay, so he's a lord, and he probably like in the throes of his grief like put up some statues of her and stuff like that. I'd be like, okay, fine. Absolutely. And that was embarrassing enough. And then I was like, okay, what if the dwarves have this sort of like cultural thing they do where they like symbolically marry a loved one who has passed, you know, to represent that they are connected still with this person, right? And like everything dwarves do, they take it way too fucking far. And so I was like, that'd be really funny. And so that was the first big bombshell that Verity and Rhoden were technically married by dwarves.
No, that wasn't the first one. You let us go for weeks without telling us that.
Oh, what was the
that
first
was
one,
after
then?
the whole fire giant thing. The first thing was like, oh yeah, there's a Verity museum,
right.
and there's a 3-day-long
Museum.
epic
Yes.
poem
I forgot
in the
about the Verity
museum.
Museum.
The museum!
Okay, yes. So the first bit was the shrines and the statues, and then there was the museum, and that obviously had to include a story about how he had like gone on this fucking like road trip essentially when he just afterwards, where he like let out his feelings as a bit of a bard and like made a bunch of very bad poetry and shit about her. And then afterwards you come back for that mission, and he was forced to explain that you were technically married by dwarf law because he wasn't expecting you to come back to life.
That was a goddamn conversation that those characters had to have.
And so like you had to meet like his kids from his other marriage, and like because you were married to him and he's the lord of like Mirabar and a couple of other places, that you know there was going to be this party because you were both important now, and then after the party he tells you that technically you're dwarf and nobility.
After the party to tell. I didn't even find out about the marriage thing until after the party, and you were like, oh well, technically the party was for like an ancestor coming back, and it was specifically because we're married technically, and Verity was just like, what do you mean we're married? What did you do?
And then she had to meet the king, and she didn't know it at the time, but later on she found out she's actually in line for the throne because she's
like not
dwarven princess
anywhere close to actually having to worry about that. So many people would have to die before her, including Rhoden, but like, oh my god. And she kept being like, is there anything else you want to tell me? Is there anything else you've forgotten to share with the class?
That's right.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I feel like she was like genuinely upset in a way that we had not seen from her up to that point.
If she could have become part of her armor and just sunk into it.
She turtles. That's what she does. She's turtling.
Yeah.
Like, I've described this.
Wow, almost like the armor is not so much for physical injury, but for emotional injury.
Wow. That's why she gets upset whenever she has to take it off. It's because she does not want to.
What is that
Man.
symbolism metaphor in my
Her
Dungeons
armor-
and Dragons game?
Wow.
Armor is her safety blanket.
Yeah, she has
It's
openly
so-
described it as that in the campaign before.
It's so funny because I wanted this to be very clear as soon as I found the angle for what Rhoden was going to be, because like Star said, there was a propensity here that Rhoden could have been an antagonist instead.
It almost made him evil, and I
Yeah.
would have. I'm not gonna lie, would have been sad.
Yeah. Well, that would have been the point, but like there was already a lot of like that going on, so I was like, let's put some light back into this.
Did you angle away from that because of the part that Vale has connections to with that?
No, not real. I think it was everything kind of all together. At that point, we got to Rhoden. I was like, I don't think I have it in me to do this to this degree. And so as soon as I settled on like the awkward thing after that, it was very specific that I needed it to be stuff that technically Rhoden wasn't doing anything wrong. Like Rhoden had a dead loved one who had been dead for centuries. Like if Verity had been allowed to live her full natural life, she absolutely would have been dead by then anyway.
Oh
And he
yeah,
might
oh
have done
yeah.
the same thing.
She would have been
And so-
dead 100
Oh,
years
yeah.
by this point.
Oh yeah, exactly. And so he probably would have done the same thing then too. And so like I was like, so this is just the stuff that you would normally do as a dwarf who was particularly attached to somebody who passed. And so he wouldn't have thought anything of it. And then of course everything just kind of escalated because of his own success in his career and all that other stuff. And then all of a sudden you come back and he goes, oh no, I kept thinking like if for instance
I just feel like I need to leave this
decided-
up on the screen for a while.
yeah, if I had for instance had a friend who was, I don't know, 80 years old and I was very young, and then obviously they had died when I was young and I grew up like say a really kind neighbor that you really had a repertoire with or that sort of thing, would and say like you were thinking of them a lot as you were growing older, and so maybe you made some poetry of them or something like that. How would you feel if they woke up suddenly and came back into your life and was like, hey, this poetry you wrote about me, huh?
Cringe.
Yeah, and I was like, oh boy, folks, the things we do for the people who have died and we care about, they're lovely and you should absolutely keep doing them. But if they ever came back.
But what would happen? And that's literally Verity and Rhoden's whole shit. Imagine waking up. Imagine dying, being a level 1 adventurer, dying in a fight, coming back, and you're famous, and everyone knows who you are, and also you're married, and in line for the fucking throne of a race you do not belong to.
And also you're suddenly made of magic crystal.
And this guy has adopted a line of tieflings that resemble you.
That might be the
And has
creepiest bit.
made them his actual heirs instead of his dwarven children.
It's a little
We need
bit
to talk about.
problematic.
We have to talk about certainty.
Yes. Okay. So this is very funny. This is one of the other things I thought of. I was like, okay, so when Rhoden had finally like sort of gotten out of his funk, I was like, okay, so he would symbolically marry Verity, and then he would be alone, obviously, and he would be alone for probably like another 20 or 30 years or so. And then he'd be like, okay, listen, I can't handle being alone. I really can't. And I would really like some children, but I can't seem to like courting a dwarf like anyone else right now it makes me feel weird. But I can adopt. Like I can adopt. Why wouldn't I? And so he goes out and he finds some people to adopt. And of course, doesn't the first person he come across happen to be a purple tiefling that how could he say no? How could he have said no? Right? And so he adopts her, and then of course she gets married and she has children. And by this point, they would go through several generations of that family by the time Verity wakes up again. And so enter certainty, noblesse, because he gave them, of course, her last name. And certainty basically runs all of his day-to-day operations because he is also super hyper-focusy. Like he just does not care for the actual day-to-day running of his little empire. And so Certainty is like this middle-aged tiefling woman. She's probably the grandmother of the first granddaughter of the first tiefling that Rhoden adopted, and she's his official heir right now. And Certainty Noblesse is there, and for added fun, for the first couple of days that she knew Verity, she would call her grandmother, which was very funny
Until
to me.
Verity eventually was just like, I know it's a cultural thing, I know, but it sounds like she's making fun of me, because Verity's like 19. She's like 19, 20-ish. Like, she's still very young. And having this woman in her 60s call her grandmother was just, she could not handle that. And so they had the conversation a couple of times. It's like, you don't have to, you can just call me Verity, it's fine. It was very funny. But no, like, I remember, like, the exact instant you dropped Certainty on us, and I was just like, sorry, what was her name? I blacked out for a second.
There's just so much going on. Here, I have to use the washroom really quick, but you can keep talking about whatever you would like. I'll be right back.
But yeah, so folks, a lot of this stuff is gonna be in the video. A lot of it's not gonna be until part 2. Which there is almost certainly going to be a part 2, because we've, played longer than the video is going to cover. Like I said, we've been playing this campaign for about a year. The video is only going to cover the first 6 months. And the reason it covers that much, the video is going to be, I'm not going to mince words here, gang. I finished recording all the narration for it early this morning. And without all the extra voice lines, it's already an hour long. This freaking video is gonna be like an hour and a half. I'm storyboarding a full movie, essentially. But it could have been shorter. The reason it's not is because we have like a very satisfying end of arc kind of conclusion that we hit at about the 6-month mark of the campaign. And I wanted it to end there because it felt like a very poignant moment to end it. Future parts might be shorter. I'm trying not to think too far ahead. However, I will admit that I've already started writing part 2 because I have no chill. And that is true. I don't know if I've told you to this.
Wait, you've already started writing part 2?
Just a little bit, but yeah. I was bored on the plane, okay? And I have brain worms.
What?
Star.
I have brain worms! It's not a lot. I just had an idea for a couple of lines, and I was bored on the plane on the way home from Canada, and I was just like, yeah, I can plug into this a little bit. I basically only covered the downtime that we had right after the Mirabar getting to there and everything that happens there.
Are we yelling at Star for going too far on something again?
She has started writing part 2.
He knows
She
this.
told me that a while ago, yeah. Brain worms are very,
Very effective. It's the ADHD hyperfocus brain worms. I haven't sent it to you guys because it's very embarrassing. It's not anywhere close to being good yet. But I haven't decided where part 2 is going to end yet. If we get to like a very satisfying point, because like right now there's a couple places it could end. It could end with like the big crystal explosion. It could end with stuff that's being covered in the episodes we're playing through right now. There's a lot of points where where like a part 2 would end. I'm not like super, waiting eagerly for like a good stopping moment. I'm just letting it play out, and I will decide. I can't even. It's far too early to be thinking about it. So, but yes, I have started writing part 2.
I think part 2. I mean, I think it's just because a lot of that focuses on like Annie stuff and what he's going through. I'm excited for part 2.
Yeah, well, I mean, so like if part 1 is Vale and Verity, part 2 is Annie and Tony, like very heavily. So
we're starting to get into a little bit of Naomi.
A little.
But I think she's going to be dashed throughout like 2 and 3 probably.
Yeah. We're probably not going to get too deep into Naomi stuff for a little bit longer, but we've touched on it a little bit.
Yeah, I told the rest of the group this, but basically I had designed Naomi, Tony, and Barbfin's storylines to kind of be like a pressure release valve. Like, they all had their own drama, obviously. I wasn't saying that it wasn't anything, it wasn't like some sort of like these stories are not as dramatic, and therefore they're easier to use as off gases from.
But I mean, you
like,
explained it is like the Verity Veil and sort of Annie storyline is like literal apocalypse shit.
It is, yeah. It's literal, like, this is sort of end of the world. You guys are meddling with things way beyond your mortal ken sort of stuff.
Yeah, like Annie is essentially creating an entirely new school of magic here.
Essentially,
like,
yes.
It's big stuff.
It is. It's gigantic stuff. And then over here you have a young lady who's just like, I read a couple of adventurers novels when I was younger, and then my mother tried to cut my hair, and I said no, and I ran away. And now I'm going to be this, and then it's evolved from that into like, I've seen some stuff, but I still want to take control of my own destiny, and I'm going to be a monster hunter. And she's doing that, and it is really like, it's this really cool little story. And then Barfin like trying to get back his ship this whole time, and like we've only seen glimpses of it because poor Ronathan had to like do stuff for work and was unfortunately able to do stuff. And then the Tony stuff, we were ad-libbing it all until Solari was able to like start writing things. And again, I said this before, I say this every time, but one of my favorite things about onboarding new people, and I love onboarding new people, is when they finally feel comfortable enough to start doing their own story. Because like usually when people come in, they're like, I don't really know like what to do. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm gonna be a little awkward at the table, so let's just ad lib it. Here's this person's backstory. We will do with it what you will. And everyone always does that. I even had a person who was playing with me once who didn't make their character have a name. She said like, hey, this is my character. It is called, they're called this person. And I was like, okay, well, I know what you're doing. Like you're not committing because you don't know if you'll like it or not. And that's perfectly fine. And then, yeah, sure enough, like 4 or 5 episodes in, she was like, actually, this character's name is this character, is this, and I've got like a whole backstory ready to go. And I was like, I knew it, right?
Like, there you are.
Exactly. It's that fucking, that moment. It's always so good. It's always so good. It doesn't matter, folks. If you're new to playing this sort of game, honestly, once you feel safe to, dive in, both feet. It doesn't matter if it's a quote unquote good story or a quote unquote bad story. It doesn't matter. People at your table will be there to help you. Like that's the whole point of collaborative storytelling. I'm sorry. This is something I'm super passionate about.
Don't apologize. This is good content. Keep going.
It is, but like this is like collaborative storytelling is like this because you're at a table with people you trust, and hopefully at some point you get to love them because you're sharing a lot of the parts of yourself, even if they're not parts that you realize you're thinking about or maybe even apply to you directly anymore, but you still want to explore them. Like this is why collaborative storytelling is so popular. This is why we all love it so much when you finally get into that moment with that group of people that make you feel safe enough to share your stories with. So don't worry if it's rough. Don't worry if it's not quite there, or if you use too many tropes from a play or scenes from a movie that you like. People at your table will, if you trust them, help you shape that into something that's great, you know? I love it. I love it so much.
Well, the other thing is, if don't just try it once and decide it's not for you, because changing out one person in the cast can completely change the vibe, right? Changing the DM completely changes the vibe. So if you find one group of people or this one DMing style aren't for you, try a different one. Try a different group of friends. Eventually, hopefully, you will find your people in how you work and how you like to tell stories.
Yeah. I found mine because one of them sent me an email.
I did. I sent an email.
Weird stuff.
Mm-hmm. This is getting sappy, but legit, I sometimes like what I'm about to say is sappy, is what I mean. But I don't care because it's hashtag content, right? I think about sometimes what it would have been like if I hadn't answered that email. Like, I consider it like the bad timeline. Like Star will never be in the bad timeline, because the bad timeline is the one where I don't respond to Jay's email when he invited me to What's Left of Us, because
I'm getting sad just thinking about it.
Haha.
Like, this is, I mean, I have, you know, like, other creator friends and things, but, like, this group genuinely is, like, some incredible friends that I am glad that I have. And yeah, it really would be the bad timeline if we had not responded to those just weird random emails from that weird random guy.
emails, like, legitimately. Can you imagine, like,
before? But my emails to both of these people were like, "Hi, I've seen your stuff before, and I really like the both of what you do. Like, do you feel like maybe you want to do a D&D with me sometime?" Like,
and of course, both Star and I are gremlins for D&D, and it's like, oh, yes, literally any opportunity to play, I will take it.
That was me, but I did also ghost him for like 2 months beforehand because I was in the middle of the worst depression of my life, or at least like pretty bad. My doggo had just died, and I was not taking it well, and it fucked me up for several months.
I responded right away because.
Oh, well. Well, aren't you just the famous influencer Zoe B, 300,000 subscribers on YouTube? Go subscribe to Zoe, by the way.
See, I think that it's more of like I'm just exceptionally like, it's like a neediness thing. It's like, oh, someone is giving me attention, immediately respond.
See, I think I'm too poisoned by the internet, and I'm scared of strangers on the internet. I leave like asks in my Tumblr. I get asks on Tumblr all the time, which is, if you don't use the Blue Hell site, it's like their little messaging system where you can answer publicly. And I just like, I think yesterday or the day before, went back and purged like 6 months of messages that I had been ignoring in my inbox because I was scared to respond to them.
Oh, what? No one's given me any of those yet. Guys, I'm on Tumblr now. You guys should find me and ask me questions.
Yeah, Jay's trying to... I still love how Mildred roasted the fuck out of you for using Tumblr now. He's like, yeah, you want to start a live journal too?
She was correct to do so. Also,
I see you in there reblogging shit like all the time. It's very good.
Oh my god! But yeah, I'm passionate about this. I'm passionate about this little group of friends we have cultivated, who are doing so well and are supporting each other.
So thank you very much for asking Jay for more D&D, so I got to play.
That's true. True. My lovely partner gets more D&D if he plays more. So.
I am thoroughly addicted. It is so fun.
Also, C. Lompat, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. Thank you. I said it right this time. I remember on the last stream, I couldn't tell if your name started with an I or an L, and I said it wrong. But I'm going to say it right this time. So thank you.
Yeah. Although, to be fair, also, one thing I will say that this group has been helping me out with a lot, too. And it wasn't just this particular group of lovely people. I play with a lot of, a large group of people who play D&D with me in various games. And all of them together were helping me do this for a long period of time. But especially because we started doing streamed versions of this game. And obviously... Menace and Movement was supposed to be like extra practice because we only did What's Left of Us once a month.
That's this game that we're talking about, by the way.
Yes,
that's the title. I don't know if we've said the title.
Hey, that's the name of the game.
That's the name of the show.
Yeah. I name all of my campaigns something very pretentious. So,
Kill the Past.
Kill the Past.
That's our new Sunday game that I will probably eventually make a video about that one too, but we're only like 2 sessions into it, so.
Absolutely.
More on that later.
But as somebody who used to DM about 9 or 10 active games at the same time, some of them weekly, I was doing it to cover from some very serious anxiety and burnout, and it only made things worse, even though I was having these beautiful, wonderful stories with all these people that I very deeply care about. But something that I was worried about is if I didn't give them all, this time with me, that they would stop remembering me, basically. And it's stupid. It's stupid to think about it that way, but like, honestly, if I had to narrow down what was making me so nervous, it was probably that. And all of these lovely people were very nice and told me that I should back off on some things. And so even though I want to run a whole bunch of D&D, I now only run a couple, and I run everything on a bi-weekly basis because it helps extremely. And so that's also why I don't, even though I started dipping my toes into professional DMing, why I don't do like a game every day, because while Jay from 10 years ago could have done that, Jay from now cannot. I am very disabled now. There are just some things I can't do. And even though I really could use some independent funding in this manner with this thing that I'm very good at, instead I'm just going to be kind to what little body and energy I've got left.
Well, we appreciate it.
Yes.
Wonderful.
But we can start doing the Thursday game medicine movement. We can start doing that one weekly though, right? Because
Yeah, just every day.
Yeah, that
every
too.
day.
Jay,
Please.
Yeah.
Jay, really, Star's house is running out of drywall.
help! It's so cold and drafty. I keep chewing on the drywall. Ah! Also, Hawkfirst, thank you for the super
Thank
chat.
you.
Can't wait to see the fish face movie. Yeah, it's hopefully June, if not June, maybe closer to July. But yeah, it's coming. I'm working on it right now. You guys are watching me work on it. And we should go ahead and say I'm gonna be doing live streams while I work on this stuff, like semi-regularly for the next couple of months, basically just until the video is done.
Yeah. You'll get more pearls of wisdom and stuff for a bunch of other things that we're probably going to turn into small videos on the D&D channel. So be ready to get the beta versions of all of these things.
Meow, meow, meow.
Yeah, the moral of the story, by the way, was to give yourself time. Don't run a billion games. Even if you're just the player, there's a bunch of responsibility on players too. Give yourself some time.
That doesn't apply to
Go
you
back
though,
to
Jay,
that.
because I still want to play every week, and you're going to do
Yeah,
that for
except
me,
for me.
right?
Except
Yeah,
for me.
yeah,
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 absolutely.
yeah. You're
Yeah,
the
yeah.
exception to that, not the rule.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%. I'm the exception. I can do that. I'm built different.
I'm sorry, Star. Weren't you the one who, like, literally like a month ago was like, I am so burnt out. I have to cut back on. Am I misremembering that?
Listen. It's sarcasm, Zoe.
We're listening.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't bring the violence to you on your channel.
Yeah, this is my stream, and I am feeling very attacked. I came out
I'm
here to have a
sorry.
good time and draw and just have a nice time with my friends, and honestly, I'm feeling so attacked right now.
Right. Mm-hmm.
The point is that we all like D&D, and it's fun.
We all love it. Yeah.
And we have brainworms. I started saying I have brainworms like once Baldur's Gate 3 got into my brain, and now it's just my thing for when I'm hyper-focusing and I just want to play D&D really bad.
Yep.
And
Yeah,
I've been
very
dropping
much.
like snippets of this video as I've been working on. The 17-second snippet I posted on Patreon yesterday. These punks have watched it how many times now?
Too much.
3 or 4 myself.
Oh.
Oh,
Jay,
that's
what about you?
that's
I know it's more than that.
That's so low a number. I watched it 4 times while we were talking about how often we were watching it.
That's true. Maybe 3 or 4 is a low estimate now that I.
A 17-second video.
Yeah.
Oh my god. And if you folks want to hear the same snippet, go to patreon.com/thejcorn.
No! I mean, honestly, though, it's your stuff, too. If you guys want to post it on your own Patreons, I'm not, just, you know.
No. This one
You're
should
allowed.
be on yours.
You're allowed.
Because my Patreon is very much personal for me specifically.
Well,
So
I mean,
that's why I said when
you're
you
running
want
it.
to support what's left of us, you go to the Ko-Fi, the J-Corn Ko-Fi. If you want to support me specifically, you go to the Patreon. Different. See? Different.
I'm just stepping away for a sec. I'll be right back.
Okay. Quick, everybody talk about how cool Rose is and how much we love all her characters.
Rose is so
Rose?
cool. Her
Yeah.
characters are so sweet and funny, and I love that they are all
Yeah.
cute, and they're also
Yes.
all kind of little gremlins in their own way, and it's
Little gremlins,
Lovely.
tormented.
yes.
Poor Vale.
Yeah, yeah. Also, I mean,
Tortured
I don't want
gremlins.
to call anybody out here. I really don't. I don't want to make anyone feel bad.
Uh-oh.
But she is by far the prettiest woman I've ever seen in my life.
Aww.
Cute.
I'm sorry. I know I've seen everyone in this call, but like,
If I sounded disappointed there, it was because I was like, what tea are you about to spill? Hello? Hello? And it was just you being nice to your wife. And I'm like, oh.
I am very nice. My abuela's here. Savan, hello.
Hi, guys. I'm almost done with these little prologue illustrations. They'll be done tonight, gamers.
Mhm.
There's Verity. She's gonna be the pan's gonna be like zooming out because she's like falling into the abyss. Oops a doodle.
Falling into? Are you gonna have her falling into space, basically?
As the closest approximation to space as I can get in the style that I've chosen for the video.
Sure.
I am back.
Welcome back. We definitely didn't say a
Rose.
bunch of things that were really nice
Yep.
while you
Oh,
were
no.
gone. We did
You were
say that.
talking
We did
about me,
say-
weren't you?
Yeah.
I was supposed to defend your honor.
Defending my honor for what?
We were talking about how cool your characters are and how much we like them and how much we like you and how you're good at drawing. And Jay was like, I love my wife. And I'm like, nerd.
Cringe.
This nerd
Cringe.
likes his
Who is-
wife. Cringe.
Wife man.
Look at this wife guy who likes his wife. Imagine liking your wife. Ugh.
Yeah,
Cringe.
I hear she's from a different country. You know, who knows if
weird
she
for-
actually exists if
It
he's
is
not
Yeah.
making her up or
There's a bit of a
anything.
language barrier there because she speaks normal English and I'm stupid. So
Amazing performance, gamers.
Wait, I speak English? Oh no.
I know
well,
how
you keep
to
taking
draw.
the U's out of all
See,
your
why are
words,
you
but sure.
zooming in so
Because
far?
I had
on
my
the-
hand on the wrong key on the keyboard. I am a professional artist. I swear.
I mean, these stick figures are pretty professional looking.
Thank you. I worked very hard on them.
Oh no.
Andy doesn't even have legs.
I
He
just
doesn't
got
need
called
them, he's-
out of chat.
He's a popsicle.
Jared, her characters collect all the best bones.
That's true. That's true.
Wow.
In the Strahd campaign I am running where Jared is in it, Rose is playing an evil Disney princess is the only way I can describe it. And she likes to collect bones from people. So, you know,
Yeah, she has a collection of knuckle bones.
yeah.
Interesting.
She's not a necromancer though,
Not
she's a
sus-
druid. Oh wait, no, she's not a druid, she's a ranger. She
Zoe,
was
you
mistaken
cannot
as
cast
a
shade
as a
if you're
druid.
necromancer.
You say that like being a necromancer is a bad thing.
No, I just didn't want you to think I was stepping on Annie's vibe.
Oh, Annie, I'm not gonna make the joke that is right there, but we're gonna move on from that.
Oh, were you thinking that Shell's job?
I was gonna make a joke about him liking being stepped on, but that's
Ooh,
neither here nor there.
Eddie!
We got to the same place there, yeah.
Yeah, honestly, let's just
Animus
throw her a bone here and say that this is gonna be a thing.
No, but in the Strahd campaign, I play Daphne. She is amazing and creepy as hell, and I love her, and I can't wait for more.
Wait, hold on a sec. Jay, you said that campaign that Rose is talking about is wrapped up with the current canon of all the other campaigns, right?
Yes.
Where the fuck does Strahd fit in with the fucking universe? What is
Ooh,
that
I
vampiric
wonder-
bitch doing?
I wonder how Strahd, a character canonically stuck in his own demiplane and who desperately wants out, is connected to any of the campaigns we do in the material plane. A material plane that I mentioned to everybody has seen lots of ominous signs that it is slowly falling apart.
Uh-oh. I'm in danger.
It's fine. Things are
We're
fine.
in danger.
This is
all-
fine.
I'm just saying, it's all fun and games until the fantasy Demeter washes ashore in Waterdeep, okay?
Oh, That's gonna be amazing. Please let me play that one.
What makes you think you're not already playing it?
Oh shit. We're
From
in danger!
Several different angles.
So the world is ending. Great. Love it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You guys not remember the intro to What's Left of Us?
Yeah. But like
But for those that aren't up on their Dracula lore, the Demeter was the name of the ship that he washed ashore on.
True.
So Strahd, Count Dracula.
I don't know shit about Strahd. I just know he's a bitch. It's literally all I know.
Oh man, I cannot wait for you to say that to his face.
Listen, Emery might. Emery would.
Emery
Verity
probably
would not. Verity would not. Lapis would not. Emery would. Emery would. She's like, yeah, you kind of look like a bitch, dude.
Oh. Jay getting called out for us being headed for a calamity.
oh, don't you worry. There have been discussions.
Okay. Jay?
Yeah.
Am I allowed to talk to the final moments that I got to play Ornn?
Yeah. Yeah, if you'd like to.
So Ornn was the very first kobold I ever made. And in her last moments that I got to play her, she was staring up at the sky as fire rained from it.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever it is, I don't think has happened yet in the What's Left of Us universe or the other one we're playing. So I have been looking at that for years going, what is happening? Why is the sky on fire? Why are meteors coming down? What the hell? And I've been trying to connect other disastery things that are happening in other campaigns to it, and none of it is it so far. So I haven't come across up to the point where I played that other character, and I need to know what it is.
The secrets. Also, Borklaser 9000, thank you for the 10-month membership. Thank you for the comfy vibes for over 10 months. No, thank you.
What a wonderful username, also.
Right? It's a Borklaser. Bork, bork, bork.
Is it
Make
over
that your
9,000?
ringtone.
Yes, it is.
It's exactly
No, it is
9,000.
equivalent to 9,000.
What, 9,000?
It equals 9,000.
9,000! Ah! I never watched Dragon Ball, but I know that that's a joke in it. I know jokes.
Jokes.
Jokes!
Oh, Spurt. I know that name. That was...
That's
from
how
CR.
long do kobolds live? 11 days!
I actually played her before that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I laughed so hard at that because I was like, Kobold, yes! I love my Kobold! No! Don't run into the hammer. Oh.
I just think it's funny that Rose is like known for her kobolds. She like always plays these kobolds and she has so many stories about her kobolds. I am in multiple campaigns with her now and have never seen one of these kobolds in action.
Yes, you have.
Oh, the Mariah Carey one shot. I've seen one exactly once, but I was a guest on that campaign. I showed up for the Mariah Carey one shot. I got to play my little bitch boy Zephyr, who I love very much, but he is a asshole.
Yeah, my kobold you got to meet is actually the one for my Discord icon that you're seeing on the screen right now. She's an albino. She is supposed to be white, but she's albino. Or sorry, she's supposed to be blue. Her family's blue. And her name is Har, and she is a fighter. Echo Knight.
And she
love
was
it
hot
so
for
much.
Zephyr, and I loved it. Like, oh, you're fun.
Hey man, he's got horns and a tail. I don't need much more than that.
Ooh, I like this one. This is spicy.
I love her so much. She's my old lady kobold. She's 11.
Yes.
11 days.
11 days. It's really funny that all of this started from basically the campaign where Rose played Orn, because it was like, I think, one of our first campaigns we played with this group in this setting. So,
which is funny because I think, didn't you say Verity kind of came from the story of Orn a little bit, kind of loosely, or it was inspired?
Yep.
Yee. That was great. That was my kobold that got disintegrated and then came back 3 feet taller.
Yeah. No, so Jay mentioned that story in the very first time we spoke to each other. I responded to his email. He responded back within 5 minutes, I swear to God. It was like, hey, do you want to jump on a voice call and I can tell you a bit about the campaign? And I was like, sure. And so we just like got on a Discord call and we talked about what he wanted to do for What's Left of Us and all this stuff, kind of his experience with D&D. And he told the story about how his wife also plays D&D with him a lot. And at one point he disintegrated one of her characters. And I was like, and then they got reincarnated as a dragonborn instead of a kobold. And he told me that story like the first time we spoke to each other. And then afterwards, I took a walk in the cold, because this was like December. I took a walk around my apartment complex, because when I lived in an apartment, I used to do laps around our little gated community in the dead of the night so that I could just like go and talk to myself and be angsty about my D&D characters. Because I had never played D&D before. I was a DM, but I'd never got to play any of my own characters, and so they just all lived in my head. And so my thing I would do is I would go and I would walk around and I would just have dramatic thinks to myself. And so I went for one of these dramatic thinks and I came back with Emery's entire character and backstory after like 2 hours of walking in a circle around my apartment complex, based on that story he told me about somebody getting disintegrated and then getting brought back as somebody different. And that was like the entire impetus for Emery's storyline, was Noble gets reincarnated into a different body. And I said, I don't know how it happened, but I know that it happened. Here you go, DM. Figure it out. And then you sure as shit did.
I did indeed.
Oh, thank you, Sly. That's so sweet.
Yeah, absolutely. I have to do a mod game too at some point. The mods are owed a game. I love all of you guys a whole bunch. So
I love playing. I have so many characters in my head. I have 9 kobolds and counting, and that's just my kobolds.
9 kobolds and counting. Is that the show on TLC?
No.
Yeah. Fun fact: I'm secretly 9 kobolds in a trench coat.
Oh, that's several. You'd think you'd be taller then.
I know.
Wow.
I'm not even the height of 2 kobolds stacked on top of each other. Okay, Star.
Listen, you walked right into that one.
Kobolds max out at 3 feet high. I am 5'2".
So really close, really close in height, actually.
Shut up.
Drawing some nerds right now.
Nerds?
Nerds, yeah.
Oh, hey, that's my nerd.
Yeah. Surprise.
My handsome little boy.
Little guy. Off to do some crimes.
He has done no crimes.
Mm-hmm.
Except maybe like crimes against nature?
Yeah.
Okay. Someone just posted in chat the Brave and the Kobold, which is hilarious to me because I was doing an art challenge for at one point where it was movie posters. So I had the good, the bad, and the Orn. So I had my Kobold Orn dressed up like Dirty Harry.
Amazing.
Oh man, that was great.
I'm playing some chill music, by the way. You guys can't hear it, but the chat can.
Yeah.
So whenever there's silence, we are simply vibing to Leaves from the Vine, but lo-fi remix.
Oh, Uncle Iroh. Oh my god, if only.
Aww.
I wish to be like Uncle Iroh. That is my
Uncle
driving...
Iroh if he was a dungeon master.
Aw, man. He was such an awesome character.
Yup.
Like, Zuko may be my favorite, but Uncle Iroh kind of helped that a lot. So I think it's a duo kind of thing for me, for who my favorite Avatar characters are.
I don't remember who it was when I was young, but now it's definitely Zuko. I mean, it's the most me I love redeemable assholes, you guys, in case you couldn't fucking tell.
I love gray characters. They're not good, they're not bad. You can't always predict what they're gonna do, so there's a lot more you can do with them instead of going, well, okay, they're a stereotypical good guy, so obviously this is their path. Or, oh, they're the villain, of course they're taking the bad route. Gray characters are so much more interesting.
Mm-hmm. For true.
Hi, Annie, I love you.
Little Annie silhouette. Boing. Little guy.
What? I'm sorry, morally gray?
I'm sorry, do you think that Annie is morally pure here?
Yes,
You just admitted
obviously.
20 minutes ago that he likes to get stepped on.
Okay, that's kink shaming, first of all.
Yup.
Annie in one line, it's for science, it's fine.
Morally gray in what way? Explain it to me.
Oh, you know, the reviving corpses bit
He
is the
has
whole
revived
thing.
no corpses.
Mm-hmm. Then where'd friends come from?
People donated their bodies to science. He used those bodies for science.
Are you sure those bodies were sourced
Donated.
ethically?
Right.
Are you positive? Were you there when they died?
I'm
Do you have
sorry,
their
are we
consent
sure
forms?
that bodies are sourced ethically in real life?
Oh shit!
Oh, God,
Listen, no,
absolutely
there
not.
was a whole thing about this in one of the Ace
Annie.
Attorney games.
Annie is not to be blamed for the systemic issues associated with sourcing bodies to be used for science. It is not his fault.
Yeah.
And yet you still participate willingly in society. I am very smart.
Like, he didn't know that the literacy rate in Waterdeep was so bad, okay? He
True, it's
has
that
been
bad.
raised so sheltered. He is fine and good and perfect.
He's a good boy.
He is!
You haven't used animated dead once.
I have not, that is true. I have been incredibly stingy with the actual necromantic spells that I use because he's a good boy.
You're so easy to tease, though, is the thing.
I mean, so is Annie, that's the issue.
Eh.
Everybody makes fun of Annie, and he is far too neurodivergent to understand when people are just trying to rile him up. So yeah,
I don't know what kind of pose I
not
want
morally
Dale to
gray.
be
He
in.
is perfect.
Think Barty thoughts and a pose will come to you.
I was thinking kind of like they're like, oh yes, I'm fancy. Because I was about to draw him with my stereotypical bard poses with a harp, but he doesn't have a harp. It's a violin. You can't
Violin.
make me draw a violin. I refuse. I played one
that's
for
fine.
3 years. I don't want to draw one, even if it's just a silhouette.
That's fine. You've got influences in some of the music I heard. That's fine.
Can't make me.
I have never drawn Veil with a violin to date, so don't worry about it.
You can't make me. I don't wanna. Violins, why are they shaped like that?
To make you go, why all the curves?
Speaking of why are things shaped like that, what the fuck is Quetzalcoatlus doing?
Whoa. It's got people feet.
Why has he got people feet? Why has he got people feet? Why are his hands on backwards? Why is his head so big, mouth so long, body so small? Why is he shaped like that?
Oh, we're talking about that dinosaur.
The
Got
fucking
it.
dinosaur. Why the fuck is it shaped like that? I hate it. I'm a hater.
I don't know, is dinosaur correct? It can fly. and
According to my
dinosaurs couldn't
comments,
fly.
it's a pterosaur, and I was just like,
Yeah.
I don't care what it is. I'm gonna call it a bitch ass dinosaur because what the fuck? The fuck is that? Zoe, do you know what we're talking about?
Yes, I watched the video. I am a fan.
Oh yeah, you did. That's right. What are you, Zoe B? What
I
are your
am not a
stances on
fake fan.
Quetzalcoatlus?
Well, okay.
Before
So
that
I
happens,
think
hold on. Before that happens, I want you all to know that Zoe just gave me a necromancy pun that I completely didn't notice in our first read. And that means she wins. That means she wins. Honestly.
Have you really not heard that before? That's like a very
No.
common thing on the internet. I
Yeah,
stole
you
it from the
did.
internet.
That's why I noticed it. That's why I noticed it in the end. We were talking in DMs about poor Annie and how he's a good boy and how he only wants to, all he wants to do is date his professor and raise a family in peace. And then I was like, oh, Annie wants kids? That's something I could use. And then I was like, wait a second, raise a family. Necromancer joke.
Raise a family. How are you gonna raise that family, Annie? Ha 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 ha.
I had to out you in the DMs because...
I'm sorry.
No, it's
No,
true.
you're not.
I'm
not
not.
sorry.
I'm really not. So the thing is, I think that all dinosaurs are cool. But I will
But?
give you this. I think that Quetzalcoatlus is kind of like uncanny.
Yep.
And so I understand why you feel averse to it, but I think that that uncanniness and that like freakishness is part of what makes it like endearing.
Boo, get out of my stream.
Okay, bye.
No, Zoe, I was kidding.
I will
See, all
mute
I
myself
know-
forever.
No! Zoe, what if I want to hear your beautiful voice, though? Tell me about more nerd shit.
Okay, you want to hear about the nerd shit?
Yeah.
Nerd,
No,
nerd,
it's fine.
nerd,
It's fine.
nerd.
Tell us
I'm
about.
sorry.
No, Zoe, you can't threaten us with a good time. Tell us the nerd shit.
Okay, so the thing is,
Mhm,
healing
mhm.
magic and life force magic is usually hidden behind the wall of divine magic. You
Oh, here we
usually
go.
have to get it from a god. And you know about the gods? They're just up there doing their own fucking thing, and they get to decide who has healing magic, who has access to divine spells. Why do they get to decide that? Who put them in charge? They just happen to be there?
Annie, what are you
and-
doing here? Where's Zoe?
I'm sorry, I thought you wanted the nerd shit.
No,
This
you
is
did.
the
It's just,
nerd
yeah, I
shit.
think that Annie has possessed your body briefly, and is because I feel like Annie has given this exact monologue before, and I just
Oh,
need
yes.
everybody to know that like this is Annie's whole shit.
Yes, yeah, that is literally his whole thing. Is like, what if we found an arcane way to access life force magic instead of having to get it from the fucking gods who think they're
Instead, you
so
get it
great?
from Verity.
Yeah.
Well, clerics are 100%
You
necromancers.
Yeah.
You should just milk the paladin.
No!
Oh,
Never
don't
say
like
those
that.
words again.
Don't
Never
like
say
that.
those words
Even a
again.
little bit.
Listen, we already joke about her blood being the forbidden Baja Blast. We don't have to make milk paladin jokes either.
Note to self: never make a paladin.
I want you all to know the sacrifice I'm making here. I'm becoming extra unattractive to my partner.
To make that
This is
joke
very important.
specifically.
The joke needed to be said, and I needed to take hits on the attractiveness scale for it. But yes, absolutely.
Well, here's
Like,
the
why
thing.
bow down to a god when you can just take a sip of the forbidden Baja Blast
That's right. Just crack yourself open a cold one.
with the boys? Just like
with the
take Verity's
boys.
arm and just snap it in half, and then crack open a cold one with the boys.
Well, here's the thing, though, right? What are we gonna do about Vale's bones?
worry,
And
Crack
the solution
open
to
a
that-
cold one with the boys.
Yeah.
Literally this morning, Jay and I
Oh, yes.
workshopped.
Let's talk about that.
Can we talk about that?
Yeah, you
Fear,
definitely can.
fear.
So
We should talk about Vale first. We should introduce the whole
yes,
thing with
yes,
Vale
yes,
so
yes.
that the audience is not lost.
yeah, so Vale has problems internally due to what, Act 1 villain? Is that what we're
putting
saying?
that
Yeah.
lightly.
Man,
Jay-
calling Akveda the Act 1 villain is just a little bit insulting, I think.
Well,
be
he
fair,
was.
We haven't
He could
fully
also
dealt
be
with
the
him
Act
yet, though.
3 villain, but he was. He was a sandy bitch, and he was following us around, and we kept we didn't know his
Sandy
name, so we kept
bitch.
Sandy bitch. We hate
I'm a
him.
Gundam pilot for so
You
long.
Yeah.
called the Gundam pilot.
We didn't know what else to call him.
So I didn't make a warlock, but I kind of made a warlock. Vale is a bard, but they were for a while under an enthrall spell. So anytime they tried to do anything outside of Ogveda's influence,
Sandy.
they got hurt. So
But it turns out they also got hurt while they were just
being a
doing stuff
vessel.
anyway.
So this bad black sandy dude was using Vale as a vessel for a long time, and we still haven't completely dealt with it. And ooh, scary dude. Jay, you're better at story stuff if you want to add more to that.
Oh, so when Rose made Vale, she was like, I want to make a character that everyone thinks is a tiefling, but is actually a changeling. And I'm like, do you mind if I mess with that a bit? Because I like that idea, but I think I could make it more painful. And she was like, okay, why do you have to say things like that?
But I also gave you the idea for Ogveda, right? You're the one that named him, but I said I want like the sand parasite thing that like consumes magic, and it just really wants to eat magic. So that's what it's going for. And then he's like, can I change some of that on you? And I'm like, yes. What are you changing? So I know how to play this character. And he's like, oh, you'll find out.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Oh, okay. So Ogveda was originally just like a monster that craved eating magic, and Jay turned him into a wizard.
Yeah.
Sandy bitch. We hate him.
The Gundam pilot.
Gundam pilot.
And so, what happened was I described that every time Vale changed their shape, they would be accompanied by sounds of loud cracking and snapping as their bones were moving into place. Because I wanted to make you see the transformation process a little bit creepy. But I had an ulterior motive. It wasn't just to make it creepy. It was because Vale was actually a tiefling. And Ogveda was changing them with a very lazy version of
True polymorph?
Yeah, because why would Ogveda care about what happened to the long-term structure of this person's body?
You say that about Gale, but I made Vale years ago. Vale, how many years ago did I make Vale? Like 7?
Something like that, yeah.
And I've just been holding on to Vale in the back pocket, waiting for the perfect campaign for them to play in, and I finally got one.
Very
Tiny
good.
Tony.
Very good campaign.
I'm a
Tiny
tiny
Tony
truther. Yeah! We never our rogue. We never got like a canonical height for her, and I just drew her very small. And I'm like, she's tiny in my heart now. No matter what her actual canonical height is, she's tiny Tony to me.
So yeah, in a recent side channel with the party, now that Vale has been freed from Ogveda's grip, they were able to do some investigating, and they rolled one hell of a couple of checks, like in the 30s style medicine checks and stuff. And yeah, there's just, like sometimes you get copy errors. Has anyone ever Xerox stuff before? Like, yeah, I'm dating myself here a little bit, but anyways.
Old! Points at you. Old!
Old. But you know how sometimes, lines shift by little bits and stuff like that. Like imagine that, but someone's bones, and skin and organs and stuff. So yeah, there's some issues. Is the problem.
Poor Vale.
And that led into more specifically part of the reason for these spells, because and just before I hand it over to Zoe, something I always do with spellcasters, like specifically wizards and artificers, is because their whole deal is studying and inventing and doing some sciencey stuff. I let all of my players who do that like invent their own spells and stuff. I'll make it work. We'll workshop it. And Zoe hasn't done much with that lately, but she came to me today with some ideas.
Did she really?
So, Rose.
Eyes emoji, eyes emoji, eyes emoji, eyes emoji.
Yeah, amazing. Tell me more.
I don't want you to be offended by this, Rose.
Me?
But it wasn't actually primarily Vale that was the reason why he came up with these spells. So these spells... don't start.
A whoa.
No, anything
so-
sort of healing-esque that Annie comes up with, I would 100% put towards teacher.
So the thing is, I literally what I asked Jay was like, can we come up with a spell that is basically like mending but for skin? And then he was like, yeah, actually I have already made this spell because I thought you might want it. And also, here's this like stronger version of it that would essentially be like magic plastic surgery that could over like a longer period of time in like repeated castings could help to restructure and heal like bones and muscles and things like that. But the reason why I wanted mending but for skin is because his professor, Dr. Shell,
100% this is for Shell. Vale would just
she's
benefit.
been like, yes. So Shell has been like blackmailed. Well, she was
Yep.
at one point a member of the Zentarim and got out of it, and like they had her phylactery, and so she was being like blackmailed by them, and it was like this whole messy thing. And
heal the
there has
wound.
been some recent stuff with the Zentarim, and we've dealt with the problems. And so now they no longer have this blackmail on her. And so Annie, now the only thing that would sort of still be holding Shell to this organization is that they branded her with a tattoo on the back of her neck of the like black snake. And so he's thinking like, if that's the only thing that she has now tying her to this organization and this like bad part of her past, what if I could come up with a way to remove this tattoo for her? Because again, he loves her so much.
Right.
I mean, he
But-
respects her and her academic integrity.
You can have both of those things can be true and are true.
Mhm.
So Annie could potentially like heal the
Tattoo
tattoo
remover
off her
spell.
skin, or
Yes.
remove said skin and then heal it over. That'd be either way
no,
painful,
just-
but super cool.
No, mending the skin back to its original state.
Mm.
But the like larger version of that could definitely be used. And like, of course, immediately when Jay brought up that the like stronger version of the spell, I was like, oh, and that could also be used for Veil. That would be great. But yeah, primarily it was Dr. Shell.
Hmm.
And then it was like, oh wait, this could also be used to help the people in my party.
I know where Annie's priorities lie. Don't worry about it. I'm
Oh,
not
yeah.
offended.
His priorities are definitely party first, and don't even question it.
Yep.
I'm gonna mute myself now.
No, you're come back. You're wonderful and amazing.
Anyway, look at these nerds that I drew.
All these nerds.
at them all. Look at them all.
Ooh.
Look at them all.
I like that we have the tall guys as bookends.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Also, Zoe, you forgot to tell them about the thing I did for Tim Tam.
Oh,
Well, okay. You can
Well,
tell
this
that
is
because
also-
it.
This is D&D.
Ugh.
Okay, so aside from just regular teasing anyway, because next week is our what's left of us streamed
is.
game.
It's too painful for me to discuss.
Right. Aside from just a bunch of stuff, I also imagined that Tim Tam would also at this point have a couple of spells that she would have wanted to build, and I made her one called Tim Tam's Friend Finder. So you guys remember that tea spell that made tea?
Oh my god, yes.
I love that spell so much. Hit the
Oh.
button more.
Yeah,
Nice.
the spell is called Guiber's Tangled Tea Maker, and
Hubert.
the reason
Hubert.
Hubert
Hubert.
Tangled Tea Maker, and
I met Cubert's player when I was in Canada. I called him that to his face.
and his mustache untwirled. He was so upset. It's my
Oh,
roommate
boy.
Tice has this beautiful large mustache that he keeps, and it's wonderful and good and accurately displays his feelings like he's a Pixar character. Okay, so the biggest component of the Tangled Tea Maker spell is that it will make you a tea and deliver it to you wherever you are. And if there's nothing on hand to make actual edible tea with, it will just continue until it finds things. and the spell will just continually grow and expand until it finds a way to make tea and then delivers it back to the caster. That is the whole point of the spell.
Yeah, it's like an infinite, like, radar system.
Exactly. Now, the only reason it breaks a lot of the fundamental quote unquote physics, but like in my head, when I'm thinking about why, for instance, the locate person spell is only like within 500 meters or something like that, or the locate object is like within a mile, it's because at some point someone went, if we let this spell recurse too much, it could kill someone. So Guiber didn't care about that. Guiber wanted tea wherever he was. And so Guiber allowed the spell to recurse. And so a lot of the biggest components of this were find things for tea wherever, including other planes of existence, bring it back to the caster wherever they are, including other planes of existence. And I imagined that Tim Tam, given recent events, would have taken a bunch of notes on that and went, I wonder what I could use this for. And so I think she is about to create a little tiny friend that will allow her to cast Tim Tam's Friend Finder.
Oh boy.
That is adorable as fuck.
I also teased her, of course, about why recent mention of her parents said that they were around only months ago, even though they have been missing from Tim Tam's life for 15, 20 years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
they were in the Feywild, weren't they?
That's something that has very much upset her, and she will not talk about it. It is tucked away in the back of her head for later.
Yeah.
Because she's fine. She's not even upset about her parents. She's fine.
Of course.
She's fine.
Yeah, I have definitely rattled off plot ideas I have had to Jay regarding Tim Tam and her parents. Jay has not said yes or no to any of them yet. So I need to know, Zoe. I need to know.
I need to know.
Nope.
Hey guys, you remember what I said earlier at the beginning of this stream when I said if you let everybody have secrets that pertain to each other individually, that they'll just torture themselves? This, right now, real time you're seeing.
This is fine, and I am fine, and it's fine.
I'm not even in that campaign, and I need to know.
I told you I would tell you.
Ooh.
I need to know.
You know my stance on spoilers, and I would much rather see it in the episode and find out in lore, even though I will say to you repeatedly, tell me, tell me, tell me. Don't actually tell me.
That's what I feel like a lot of folks are like with cast-off spoilers. It's just like, I want to know, don't actually tell me though. And I'm just like, okay.
I mean, see, I'm also the type of DM that'd be like, listen, if this is too much for you, I can just tell you right now.
No!
I can. I believe you're all above metagaming. I get it. I understand.
Metagaming? What metagaming? This is fine.
Uh-huh.
Here's the thing. I'm trying not to metagame. So hard, but I have seen things in What's Left of Us that I'm like, Vale could use that. I could 100% use that for Vale.
I've seen some things.
I need someone to tell him about the thing that happened in What's Left of Us so he can go investigate, because that would make things so much easier.
Folks, I barely said a word in the last 5 minutes, and they're all doing this.
He does this to us. This is what this is
what we go through.
This is what we go through, and what you could also go through if you click that link up at the top of the chat.
Oh yeah, it's like, it hurts and it's painful, but it is so worth it from a storytelling perspective.
The indigestion I get from consuming drywall is so worth it. I've been to the emergency room so many times, and they're just like, you gotta stop chewing on the drywall. And I'm like, I cannot, for Dungeons and Dragons exists.
Hey, Star.
Yeah.
You got a question on what you're drawing right now.
Oh, yeah.
There are some new people filtering in as we speak, yeah.
Yeah. So we are, well, I'm doing all the drawing, but my friends and I are working on a video that's basically like a retelling of all the events in one of our D&D campaigns. And so I am right now drawing, so each character is going to get like their special little intro. And what I want to do is, I want to do like full illustrations for each of the characters when they get introduced into the story. Where it starts as a sketch and then there's like a watercolor, like an ink bloom effect, and it turns into a fully rendered illustration. And so this is Verity's because she's the first character that we actually like meet in the story. Verity is our POV character for this video because she's my baby and I wrote the video and I'm drawing the video. And it's easiest for me to write my own character. And so she is the one that we meet. We follow her for like the first couple of minutes of the video. And so, but I'm going to do one of these for everybody.
It 100% makes sense for her to be the point of view character too, with how she flows throughout the storyline and how much is connected to her. I would have made the same choice.
Okay. I feel like I need to go on the defensive because it's just like, it's my character. But she's my baby.
Yes, Star, how dare you? How dare you?
No.
Unacceptable.
I never want to be like the main character, right? It's just like, I don't want to take up too much screen time. I just love my baby. And, it's easiest for me to write her.
But she's perfect for it, Star. You don't understand. She's the perfect point of view for all the interconnected. She is the perfect choice. Don't feel bad.
I am glad that you think so.
Also, like, not for nothing, but when we're playing in a game of like this, somebody has to be the quote-unquote main character of a story. Somebody has to be. It's the way we all identify with storytelling, right? Somebody has to take the reins. And that might not always be your character, but honestly, Verity's such antagonist material. It is protagonist material.
I was like, what the fuck are you saying about my baby girl?
Dark Verity.
Verity.
No!
Dark Verity Truther. Dark Verity Truther, let me tell you.
No.
If you, she's just so made for it. She's a paladin. She's got like the big apocalyptic storyline going on. The thing that's actually like running the major problem that you'll all have to eventually face is directly tied into what's happening to her. Like, it's hard to avoid that sort of thing, and that's fine. Like, when you're doing collaborative storytelling, that's another thing. You have to like accept that people in the table are either going to feel some kind of way about it and talk about that, or they're going to allow that to happen because it's good, actually, that somebody takes that sort of reins,
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Like, the first person that Vale attached to was Verity, right? For one, because they were the characters introduced together, but also has the most, I think, overlay with their story and what's going on and the passenger in their head, right? And it just, for Act 1 at least, it 100% makes sense that she's point of view.
She's just my little purple baby, and I love her so much, and I just want good things to happen to her, and bad things keep happening to her. My baby daughter, she's... I don't even know what she's gonna do on the next session. I talked about it on the Discord, but our most recent session was very much like, we're all still friends, and we were checking in. It's like, okay, we're sure this is just roleplay, right? You guys, and everyone was like, yeah, totally. We're having some major inter-party conflict right now.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And,
Poor Vale.
It's just like, I feel... Because it's just like, it's one of those instances where like no one's 100% right, everyone's a little bit wrong, and now it's just a case of who's gonna crack
except
first.
Annie, he is actually always right.
Except
about
Annie, because Annie is always right. But it's just like, I was thinking about it the last night, and it's just like, it's just a case of who's gonna crack first. And like, it's gonna be Verity. She's already cracking. She's just like, I don't like it when my friends fight. And it is. I feel like we're gonna pick up next session, and if given the opportunity, she's just gonna have a bawling meltdown of just like, I don't like it when my friends fight, and maybe I should. She's that girl at the end of Mean Girls who's like, I just want us to make a cake and that's made of rainbows and smiles, and we can all be happy. And that's Verity. That's her.
No, I did say poor Vale, but what I mean by that is Vale is the character that's going back and forth like, you're right, but you're also right, but you're also both wrong, and ooh, nobody's agreeing with Tony. Ooh, if nobody takes her side at all, is she just gonna leave us in a huff without thinking about this? Maybe say okay to both sides a little bit so that Tony just doesn't rush off before she has a chance to think anything through, right? Because Vale is definitely more on the other side of things with like the having people have their own what's the word?
Agency.
Agency, yes. Oh, but at the same time, it's like, don't leave us, you're our friend, we can help you.
Yeah.
And Annie is just so pig-headed that he's like, I've said my piece. Either it will be fine or it won't be. I'm leaving. I'm done with this.
Yeah, this is going to be either, depending on how long I decide to make the part 2 video, this is either going to be part 2 or part 3 when the video comes out. But it's just, it's very much like inner party drama. What's going to happen?
And like, okay, so I have, like, well, this is another thing that I'm super passionate about. So I'm very pleased that all of my players trust each other and we talk to each other and we check above table to make sure there's no bleed happening between people. But it's funny that in season comments, like, it's interesting to see the situation where where no one's 100% at fault. And that's true, but there are definitely more people who are more at fault than others in this particular instance. And it's because everything is like, we're playing it off as everything being kind of real and messy. And like, these are the sorts of things that happen when you encounter like existential, gigantic threats. And you are a bunch of people who just are barely hanging on, and you make these decisions, and then you don't know what to do with these decisions. And then there are hurt feelings over it. Very like just like in real life, right? If something big came along and you just made a snap decision and then were called to defend that position later on, you might not have a good answer for that, or think that you do have a good answer and be deeply confused as to why everyone is still yelling at you, you know? And so like, yeah, this is a great like play out of all of this. And oh man, I was so proud. Like, my brain is still like on that entire scene. It was so good.
Yeah, I may have had more than one thought on like, what if Vale just takes Tony aside and talks to her for a few minutes, like being all understanding, but also, hey man, you kind of know you're wrong, right? But also I understand where you're coming from. Oh, it was such a good scene.
It's gonna be good when it's actually like, I'm just gonna say animated. It's not gonna be fully animated. I do not fucking have time for that. I am not a one-person studio. Jay gave me a heart attack the other day because he was like, if you work, you laughing because you know exactly what I'm about to talk about. But we were talking about the video because like I finished that little snippet yesterday, and we were talking about just like getting stuff recorded and all that. And he says, like, if you, like, actually, buckle down and work on this, you could have it released in May. And I was just like, sir,
Excuse me?
I love so much that you think so highly of my ability to get shit done. This is not coming out in May. If I didn't have a webcomic that needed print revisions done, then maybe it could come out in May. But even then, it would be a bit of a stretch. Because unfortunately, the thing about this video is it does have to take a backseat to my usual work and getting my comic ready for print and all that jazz. And I've got a couple of conventions coming up. So it is going to have to take a backseat to all of that. But I mean, the hyperfixation brain goes strong. And since I'm just doing sketches for this, it might not take the longest amount of time. I say I've literally never made a video this long in my life, so we'll see.
Star?
I mean, at the very least, it will be a summer blockbuster, whether that's June or August. But like
June or August, one of those months.
Yeah,
it'll come out when it'll come out when it comes out.
Exactly.
Do not hurt yourself. Pace yourself. Stuff that makes you money comes first.
But the
because
brain
you have
goes
house payments.
I think that maybe I will just go and do the rest of the characters' little sketches. I got time for one more, maybe. I got time for one more. Who am I gonna do?
Yeah.
I'm gonna. Okay.
Beyonce, baby.
No. I still have to figure out how I'm gonna draw Beyonce. Vale and Annie face off. I'm thinking of a number between 1 and 10. Whoever gets closest is the winner.
8.
Purple.
6.
It was 5, so Vale wins.
Ah!
Oh.
It's because you just hate necromancers.
Yeah,
I think it's because she's got a thing for tieflings.
Oh, yeah, fair.
that too. I hate. Listen, it can be both. I can hate necromancers and love tieflings. I would not discriminate just against you like that. Oh wait, I opened Annie's on accident. But here, I'll go ahead and show the ones for all you guys. I'll show all of them here. So like everyone's gonna have their own little intros. So like Vale meets Verity first, and like in a tavern is gonna be like, "Hello, I'm Vale. I'm the coolest."
Star, can I just real quick, just so that I don't forget? Can Voltaire be in his little character image?
Yeah, I can
Like
have
on
him on your
his shoulder
shoulder
or
or something. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Perfect, thank you.
Yeah, I'm gonna show sketches of the little character intros before I fully render them. So, yeah, for approval and whatnot. Yeah, so there's Barb. I don't know if I'm gonna have him flexing, but that was just the that was the vibe in the thumbnails. And there, Beyonce I haven't done yet. But Naomi's gonna be. Naomi has to have sparkles because fucking of course she does. And then Tony's just gonna be like, "Hi, I'm fucking Tony." But there's Vales.
Naomi 100% needs sparkles because she's got the little freckles on her face that are kind of sparkle shaped.
Yeah,
She's so goddamn cute. I love Naomi.
It's so cute.
There's a lot of good characters. Normally, like, watching shows or being in games with people, there's like one or two characters I latch onto. But no, this whole cast, I love every single one of them.
Bunch of good beans.
It's so weird because we're a big party too, right?
6 people, big party. I DM for a group of 8. Those motherfuckers take what they get.
It's true. There's a lot of people in some of these parties. Incidentally, that's another thing, folks. If you're making a party, choose a number of characters, players that you are comfortable with.
I DM'd once for 2 people. It was a lot. How do you guys do 6 and 8?
With great fear in our hearts. For me, at least. And also for me, it's like, I love my friends, and I DM'd for a bunch of friends that I've known for literally 10 years plus, and we make it work. Because we all love each other very much.
Yeah, my biggest problems as a DM is the story in my head's going a mile a minute, and I need to learn how to slow down so I don't be like, and this happens, story time, yes, let's go. No, slow, let it pace out as it will.
Yeah, there have definitely been a couple times where it's like, you really didn't roll high enough to get this information, but I really want you to know it, so I'm going to tell it to you anyway. And then it kind of came back and bit me in the butt later, and it's like, oh, I shouldn't have fudged that.
Yeah, sometimes dice tell a story.
10
And you
before
need to trust
Jesus
the dice.
Christ.
Constantly torturing people behind the scenes, incidentally, this entire time. I want you all to know this.
What? Wild.
Who are you messaging?
Nobody.
Are you tormenting poor Jinx while she's at work?
No. If I torment Jinx, she will literally come home and beat the shit out of me, so no.
Well, would you deserve it?
Yes.
Yes.
But that's also
Then she
why I
is in
didn't
her
torture
right
you
to do
so
so.
much while you were here, because your punches were real.
My 1 million punches! Hooah!
Yeah. She has the power of God and anime on her side, and
I've got the power of God and anime on my side! That's my fire alarm scream that people said the other day my laugh sounded like a squeaky door. When I was losing my shit about pizza the other day, someone said that I sounded like a squeaky door hinge.
I mean,
I'm not a door hinge.
no.
That sounded so condescending.
I know, I'm a Star Squawk truther.
Oi! It's not a squawk, it's laughter!
No, when you're not laughing, when you're yelling at me.
Whatever it is endearing, so it's fine.
Yeah. for saying stuff like, I wonder if your sister actually made it through that portal in the end of the last episode.
Jay,
You see?
Killing him! Killing him with my mind!
This is what it is. It's easy. All I'm
This
saying
is
is
it.
possibilities.
this is what I'm gonna say to get canceled. I'm gonna threaten violence on stream.
Do it, Zoe!
No
Do
one
it!
will
Be
care because
violent!
it's just me. People will be like, justified. Wax gavel.
Jay?
These are the
you
people
look at
that
me for a
I
second?
have chosen to be friends with.
You don't have your gun with you.
Rose, are you
I can go get
unarmed?
it.
Did you leave the Nerf gun downstairs?
I did. I
Rose?
wanted Jinx to be able to use it, so I left
got
it
it.
in the living room.
She just needs to buy her own so that you guys can both be armed at the same time. Because otherwise you're gonna have situations like this.
Are you saying I need to go get it?
Yeah.
I'll be right
Rose,
back.
Rose, do me a favor. Go choose your husband for me.
Hey,
Please and
whoa,
thank
that's-
you.
I will be right back.
This is not cool. Y'all are seeing violence.
My magic trick is that I can make your wife perform crimes on you. These are the people.
There.
These are the people that I'm on a voice call with like every single night, guys. Just for a little peek behind the curtain. This is what I deal with on a nightly basis.
Not
I'm
me,
talking to
because
these
I go to
nerds.
bed at 9 o'clock every
Unless
night.
we keep you up with brainworms.
Well, yes, but otherwise,
Also,
because
hold
I am
on.
secretly an old lady.
Unless we keep you up by peer pressure.
Yes.
Doodle, you can't say you're getting therapy about this. You have made a couple of animations that have made all of us melt in our goddamn chairs. You don't get to tell
That
us
is
about it.
absolutely true.
Yes. Listen.
We scream at those in the voice chats.
It's true. We do. We watch.
We do.
see
We are
all of
all
your art and
huge
stuff.
fans.
Always. Always.
Come to my stream, get complimented. Let's go.
Okay. I am back.
Are you armed?
Haha, you missed.
The glee with which you said that. Are you armed?
Oh, my neck.
I love how we can
Didn't miss
just
that
barely
one.
hear the Nerf sounds, like the boom.
Well, I
You
muted my
listen to
mic,
this.
so
Yeah.
I'll leave it unmuted for this one.
I must have bothered her emotionally somehow, and so she can't aim right. Oh, that almost hit the back of my head. Where'd that go? I don't even know anymore. Oh. There you go. Listen, it's like I said
Not
something.
sure
Oh,
exactly what
There.
face
that
I
was
want to be
perfectly
drawing
the back
here.
of my head. Bravo. Oh. I'm getting shot for. They hated him because he said the truth.
Shoot him again.
Oh, don't even.
Do you even know if it was safe on the other end of that portal?
What was that, Star? Was that a request?
Yes, it sure was.
Oh, no.
It's a Nerf gun. None of these are hurting him.
Yeah, the aim is getting better.
I
per
shot
shot.
myself with that Nerf gun while I was there. It does not hurt. He's just being a
I
dramatic.
saw that. I watched that happen.
I shot myself with the Nerf gun as I was running away from people. At one point, I had the little Nerf Derringer in my hands. I had finally gotten hold of the object of my torture. I was running because they were trying to get it back, and then I shot myself accidentally. That's the sort of
Trigger
person I am.
discipline, Jay. Jeez.
You would know this if you were an American.
Yeah, yeehaw and whatever.
I am a swords guy, not a gun guy.
You could have swords on guns and guns on swords. I think
you ever heard
that
of-
just smacks of you being a coward, if you ask me.
Have you never heard of a gun blade before? Sheesh.
Yeah,
There
they're all
are
the rage in
actually-
Final
bayonets are for
Fantasy.
There are historic gun blades, thank you very much, that I would
Yeah.
use. So, carry this, you filthy casual.
Yeah. His face does not feel right, but I'm just gonna keep powering through it. See, I don't sketch on stream very much because my sketches are so messy and horribly awkward. And I'm just like,
But they look good though.
thank you. I'm doing my very, very best.
You are so fast. I do so many layers of revisions, and you do like 3.
I do 1. This is all in the same layer.
There. Yeah, because I do my like little stick figure, I do my blocking of the body, then I do my design of the character, then I refine it, and then I refine it, and I keep doing that until I'm happy.
Nah, I refine in the inking stage because I am an impatient motherfucker. Like, my whole art process has evolved around the concept of if I do not finish this in one sitting, it will never get done because I'll get bored.
Fair. I do have a bit of that, so I have to do like smaller things, but at the same time, I don't like my own art, so I have to keep doing it until I'm like, no, I don't hate it anymore.
Fair.
Like, I haven't drawn a kobold in forever just because I'm not happy with their original designs, and I can't come up with anything I like.
Still pretty enough here. I need to do the freckles and shit, but... How's the vibe?
The little
Am I-
dusting.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that in post, but...
Oh yeah, do that with a brush, man.
Yeah.
I just do
Brush,
little
man.
dots to remind you that it's there, and then just do it with a brush later.
Rose, important question. Veil, pointy teeth or nah?
Emphasized canines, but normal teeth otherwise.
Okay, pointies. Pointies. Excellent choice.
Oh yeah, I give all my tieflings oversized canines, but everything else is fine.
Teethling. That was a dumb joke. I'm not sorry.
No, I got it.
What? Lacelle made that joke. You will not.
That wasn't a joke. She was being
disparage what Bibby
100%
says.
sincere about it.
Then you should have been more sincere about it.
Are you saying that I'm not sincere? Are you calling me out on my own goddamn stream and telling me that
fake.
I...
Irony poisoned. Spotted.
No.
Yeah, pointy teeth and tieflings for me is a little odd, I guess. My other tiefling I made that I absolutely adore, he's a wizard. And he was made as a twin for another player at the table, and she really wanted shark teeth. But I'm like, but that does not fit the vibe of my character. He's supposed to be like super soft and gentle. So we came up with the idea of yes, they have shark teeth, and if like she gets punched in the face and stuff, her teethies will come back because shark. But he actually like files them to look more normal and more soft like people, because it also plays on his character some that he would augment himself to be more light, because he is sad boy.
No. Those little hair flippy flippies. Flippies. So pretty.
I did make a pretty I almost said boy, but Vale is they, not boy.
Pretty.
My male tiefling is Fane.
Pretty. Yeah, we're probably gonna call it a day here pretty soon, but I'll at least finish sketching this outfit.
I am curious. I gave you two different designs for Vale. Did you pick the one that you thought would be easier, or just the one you were used to seeing them in?
I picked the one that was easier, that seemed easier to draw.
Okay. Cool.
Which is the one that I was used to drawing already.
Makes sense. I really like both of them, so neither of it was the right answer. I could have just waited 2 seconds to get my answer.
Anyone else want some fun information while we're still on here? Now's the
Sure,
time to
how more are you
ask.
gonna hurt us, Dungeon Master?
I would never. I was just saying I offer helpful information, like a helpful DM.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all should just
Pressing
know the
X to doubt.
possibilities.
To doubt.
There's just there's a possibilities, right? You may not have been aware, but who knows what's on the other end of that portal? You just don't.
He just loves to taunt us. We need to unionize, I
Yes.
swear.
Oh my
no, you
gosh.
can't unionize, guys. I'll give you a pizza party.
Oh, okay, that's what
How
it is.
good, what flavor?
Can we
what
have
flavor
more
of
coffee in
pizza?
the break room?
Guys, here's where we say we won't, but never put it in writing, so that we get our pizza party and then we bombard him.
No,
Yes.
you
Yeah. That way we
The
get
power
both.
of
I
collective action.
love lying. Let's go.
the shit. You guys can't do that. I'll take away
Tell
your
us
stock
more
options.
Tell us more information, Cornman.
About what? What do you want to know?
I don't know. You offered. Tell us something. Spin us a yarn.
Should
Dungeon
I?
Master.
Maybe I'll start with some of the things that I said on Tumblr because that's easy.
Oh yeah, your Tumblr lore. Pimp your Tumblr, Cornman.
I do occasionally do lore videos for Tumblr.
You are not making me go on that fucking hell site.
No. You don't have
The
to.
website.
You definitely don't have to. Yeah. Oh, Hawkfurs, you gave me a question. I'm gonna answer that out loud in front of everyone on Tumblr. Don't worry about it. I'll save that for that though. Where's my Tumblr thing? I still don't know how to do things on this freaking site. Let me tell you.
Nobody does. That's the secret.
Yeah. Where's my Tumblr lore? Okay. The biggest piece of Tumblr lore or lore that I put it on Tumblr that you guys may want to know is that so in my canon, the reason why a lot of gods and demons and stuff don't just come down onto the material plane very often is there's usually a divine barrier that keeps the world safe. And for some reason, that barrier is no longer in place currently.
Hmm?
Who could say?
But I'm sure that it's fine.
Have things
sure
to
that
say, but will
sure
not
that
say
it's
thanks.
Fine.
Does it have anything to do with old campaigns that I have taken part in? Those characters specifically, you know who I'm talking about. The Kika party.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Is that what you're talking about?
Something may have punched a hole in the divine barrier.
Oh, never mind. I know exactly what you're talking about. Hey, Star, how you doing? That's my thoughts anyway.
My cat's food dispenser is going off.
Oh, kitties, dinner!
They're getting their dinners. I need to re-record that thing so it's not so loud. Jeez.
Yeah. Now, obviously, some people might infer from what I have said earlier, based on what this is, obviously, why this is happening, right? Or rather, what it is leading to. So, you can put together some very easy pieces here. Beginning of the introduction to what's left of us, the introduction little blurb I spat out before we actually started playing, said that there was something wrong with the world that you were all seeing. I think in every single startup, I do these little startup audios for my campaign sometimes, whenever I have the time to do it, whenever I'm really feeling it, and all of those mention that the world is doing something. There's something up with the world that is upsetting, and every time I also introduce little tiny things, like for instance the endemic life bit. For some reason, some people have noticed that the undead have started gaining life on their own if left long enough. And I'm not talking about, this is the Pit Henry story, where Pit Henry was a zombie trapped in a pit that was an attraction for a little while.
Pit Henry, we stand Pit Henry.
We stand Pit Henry. And
I can't help but notice that you didn't end up mentioning Pit Henry in the part of the video you scripted, and I was like, oh, when are we gonna get the Pit Henry lore?
I think Pit Henry might be a fun little short. I feel like Pit
Yeah.
Henry, the story is too cute and silly for the script.
It is.
Oh,
yeah.
because we're emo and whatever.
Yeah. So
It's your
basically,
big dramatic story. I'm sorry, Jay, go.
No, it's
It's
okay.
our big dramatic story.
Yeah. So yeah, in the distant past, some necromancer was roving around attacking things, and one of his raised minions got left behind in a little pit in this town, and the town decided to keep him as like a sort of mascot. And they kept him going, and eventually he would degrade slowly over time, obviously, like zombies tend to. But they noticed that they kept tossing stuff down there, that Pit Henry would start to play with them, and then eventually Pit Henry learned how to read and try to communicate, and Pit Henry did not have people in the town knew the corpse, like the corpse had been in the town's graveyard, so they knew who it was. And obviously it wasn't the new there was a new personality developing, this undead who is suddenly not dead.
Pit
And that
Henry
is
got to
what-
play with his gender expression.
Exactly.
Beautiful stuff.
And there just so happened to have been a young elvish wizard roving the hillside doing his dissertation at the time, and Pit Henry was the biggest part of it and what got him hired at the university.
Pit Henry, you could argue, was my
Mhm.
wingman.
It was absolutely Pit Henry wingmanned you for Dr. Shell, and I mean, not for nothing, but perhaps one of the reasons why a certain gnomish artificer was able to create true life with her doggo friend was because the divine barrier was no longer functioning, thus giving mortals the chance. I also like the when you guys put together the timeline and figured out that the act of creating sparks happened at about the same time that the explosion in the university happened that freed Verity.
Yeah, so Verity exploding out of her shell, sparks being created, this whole fucking shockwave
It all happened at
of
the same
energy
time.
was the same moment.
I believe
Mhm.
also a friend starting to show signs of coming to be more person-like also happened at the same time.
It did happen a little bit more at the same time. Sort of jolt of divine energy.
Wow,
Anyway,
almost
well-
like a certain literary monster. Anyway.
With that, I think we're gonna go ahead and call it a night because my wrist hurts. I've been drawing for 3 hours and I have enough that I can go and edit our prologue together. So I'm gonna go do that. But first I'm gonna get dinner because I'm hungry. Do you guys want to plug anything before we leave for the night?
My
Zoe?
ears, so that I don't have to hear Jay
Ooh.
tease us with stuff anymore.
Ooh.
I'm sorry, that was rough. Yes, you can find me at Zoe B. If you just look up Zoe B, that will be me. I will be there. I do video essays, and that's it. I am just here on YouTube.
Hello, it is me. I'm Zoe B. I'm very small.
I am very small. Yes.
Rose, I know you don't
excited.
have any internet presence, but Rose
Uh,
does all the art for our What's Left of Us characters. So give Rose some love.
Maybe someday if I ever get the courage to like post my stuff, but
Yeah.
at the moment, no.
If Rose ever decides to do commissions, you all will be the first people to know.
Yeah.
So don't you worry about that.
Yeah.
Hi everybody, I'm Jaycorn. Everyone has plugged all of my shit much better than I ever do all the time. You should see twitch.tv or not twitch.tv, fucking
Twitch!
YouTube. I mean, I do have a Twitch as well, but I don't fucking care about that. YouTube.com/thejcorn. That is where we have all of our story stuff. We will be doing some actual stuff soon. I backed off on my day job, made that little sacrifice because I really want to lean more into doing this because it is what makes me happy, and you all make me happy, and I want to thank you all for that.
Aw.
Present company obviously being the big part of that, but also like all you viewers who are really psyched about seeing our story. We didn't think that anyone would really like having anybody really take interest in our stories makes us feel very cool, and thank you all very much for that. And yeah, I don't think I've got anything else except I really don't know what's up with Katarina, why she didn't answer Vale and Vale's message, and I think that we really
He's ending it with taunts.
Well, no, you still have to do your plugs, but sure. Seems really
My
weird
plug
she
is
wouldn't
that you're
answer,
here
that's all I'm saying.
already. My plug is that you're here already. This is my channel. Watch the video when it comes out. I'm gonna be doing streams like this occasionally. I'm not gonna commit to doing them like weekly, but you know, just when I have time, I'm gonna be plugging away at the D&D video because I'm very excited about it, and I will hope that all of you guys are really excited about it too because it's going so well, and I'm so excited. And if you're subscribed to my Patreon, I might just upload some more progress tonight or tomorrow. So, you know, because I'm gonna be real, you guys. I'm gonna go heat up my curry, and then I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna start editing the prologue images. I know what I'm about. But yes, so thank you all for joining us on this very chaotic stream. Thank you to my friends for joining me on kind of a spur of the moment thing. But you guys are always you guys are always invited back. But
I love having a captive audience.
I mean, I do want to do some art stream, you know, for D&D related streams. I think it would be nice to have you guys on.
We have just been invited to every single stream, actually.
Yeah.
Not if I don't join the Discord chat. I can easily just get rid of you guys.
Oh no!
I'll just call you midstream on Discord.
Yeah,
Jay,
good luck
I have
getting me to
questions.
answer. I'll put myself
Yes,
on.
honey?
Who do you have captive? Where are they tied up, and how do I free them?
That's gonna be it for us tonight, gamers. I will see you guys later. Goodbye.
Bye, everybody.